Oh, hello, David. Finally, you crossed the finish line first. I had series of sneezing because the sun was shining through the window pretty good. Oh yeah, the horses were warmed up today. Yeah, for sure. Hello, Ross. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Hope you guys are doing well as well. Resolution and sound okay so far? Ross says, Mehran, I was wondering, how do you deal with narcissists when you work with one, male 30 UK? Yeah, I was wondering where that code is. I was going to get on your case to say, don't you see the few lines I've written up there? And thank you for sharing that. Male 30 UK. So I'll get back to it right away, Ross. Let me do some little greetings chit chat here. David says, interesting, everyone on my mom's side sneezes when they are in sunlight. Everybody does. You're probably the the abnormal one. All of us are normal. Sneezing in the sunshine, that's how it goes. Boy, when I sneeze, David, it's not one or two. Sometimes it's like 15 or 20. And I love it. It's such a reset. So we have Tony, we have Juanpa. Tony, I'm gonna do a constructive criticism. Are you up for it? Yeah? Since we've been here a while and we kind of know about each other a little bit. Look, you coming right out of the gate with the question, what happened to hello? What happened to some greetings? Just suddenly, unless... So figure it out. I'm sure you agree. So we have Ibzi from Canada, 24. Sid. We have Sid from Estonia, male 31. Daniel, 23, from Amsterdam. Oh, Amsterdam. I have good memories from Amsterdam. We used to travel to Europe quite often every year when I was a kid, usually with my mom and my brother. My father would join us later when his work would allow. He was a legal advisor to KLM, Dutch airline. So one of the trips that we made was in Holland, Amsterdam being one of them. So I was a little kid. But I always, I don't know, somehow, I think the famous Moulin Rouge, the windmill, and the tulips, the flowers. Ah, Tony says driving now. So you had time to write a whole paragraph That was okay if you were driving. But the hello part, nah, that was because you were driving, you couldn't put it in. You know you can't fool me, Tony, yeah? No worries. Just park your car somewhere before you text. Make sure, guys, do not text when you drive. And do not even care if it blinks or rings or buzzes when you're driving. Nothing could be as important as the person for whom that news or that bell rang. So if you're not there, you try to answer to see what it is so important. It couldn't be more important than you, because if you get an accident, you can, nothing else is important. You can't even find out what that was. So you are the most important person in the world for you. Otherwise, nothing else exists. So you got to take good care of yourself. So if you're driving, don't pay attention to telephone ringing or buzzing or text or anything. Or don't type anything, text anything. Just park your car, do your thing if it's really that important or you can't wait, and then get back on the road. All right. Let's see what else we have here. Juanpa from Costa Rica. Tony from Florida. So I guess we can get a start. We can get on with it and start answering the question. So, first question, Ross. Ross says, Mehran, I was wondering, how do you deal with a narcissist when you work with one? Oh. Well, when you work with one, everybody is subject to the rules and regulations and procedures of the company. So it's easy to deal with those kind of assholes. You simply can make a report and give it to your supervisor that these behavior, such and date, such an behavior, interaction, such and date, such an interaction, da-da-da-da. Just make a good log. Put it in writing. When you put it in writing, they have to respond. Put it verbally, it gets lost or they don't pay attention to it. But make it official. Then they will have a talk with the guy and say, listen, or the girl, whatever it is. So listen, what's going on here? Who you want to control or dominate here? That doesn't go well with this company. And if you guys are on the same level, meaning one of you is not like a supervisor or some kind of an authority figure in the company, because if that's the case, then do a writing and send it to the complaint department or however, whoever is in charge, in writing, with documented days and facts and description of what happened and so on. If you're on the same level, just take him aside one day and tell him, listen, you stop this nonsense behavior. You can't control me or dominate me. I'm not that kind of a dog. So I'll bite your ass as hard as you can imagine. So stop it. I'm just going to tell you in a friendly way because you're annoying me. So if you want it to stop here, then stop it here. Let's be civilized and attend to our work. And of course, the expression of a bite your ass just means I respond in kind, not that you will actually bite his ass. Don't do that, because that would be... You know what I mean? It's a gesture to tell him that I will respond in kind, or I will make a complaint to the complaint department and follow the legalities and rules of our company. That's what I meant to suggest. All right. Or if you want to be, just play along, simply if he or she does that, just tell them, look in the face, says, listen, who do you think you are? Do it yourself. That's the end of that. You do that a few times, he'll see that it's not a place for him. All right. Tony Rodriguez. Tony, 25, Florida, says, why do ex-girlfriends come back to say hello after months of no contact and I have already forgotten about her? I don't know. Some do, some don't. And maybe one of the reasons, or some of the reasons of why some of them do this is because they haven't found anything better out there. They had a big head. They thought, oh, they're going to be falling all over themselves because of her. Or they tried the field and they didn't find someone as good as you or decent or proper. And that doesn't mean they want to come back to you. They may be feeling disappointed or low, and they want to get a boost, and they know where they can get the boost, the guy that they left them. So he's always going to be hungry to reciprocate with pleasantry if I throw him a bone. That's probably what they might be thinking. On the other hand, it is possible that I can close this window and get rid of that plain sound. Okay, there it is. On the other hand, it is possible that she actually misses you and thinks that she made a mistake, or on the other hand, it could be just she's being pleasant. She maybe just wanted to give herself a boost. Certainly it's not for you. Whatever she's doing is not for your sake. It's for her sake. Now, what that is, what she's going through, is she disappointed from what she's been experiencing out there? Does she really miss you? Does she think that you've been decent and she did wrong? Is it because she wants to be friends to give herself a boost while she's waiting around to find something that she might be looking for or thinking that is out there with her name on it and it's better than you, but she wants to feel good about somebody giving her a compliment or attention, and that could be you, who better than you? And who would be a better sucker than you, because she left you, so she knows that you have that eagerness to be a good puppy and run after her. So it could be one of these or all of these. Who knows? There was a movie I saw. In that movie, there was this scene that it was called Jungle to Jungle. And Tim Allen, I think it's the actors, was going to see his ex-wife, and supposedly that she wanted to officially, legally serve the papers and divorce him. So he was on his way to somewhere in Africa, I guess, or South America, some native land or native style of living. Very, she was a doctor helping people and stuff like that. Anyhow, he lands and sees that the ex-wife is not there, but there is a representative. The guy came in and says, well, so where's so-and-so? Where's my wife, my ex, that wanted to sign the paper? So I want to sign it and go and get married with, my girlfriend that, he had in New York. So the guy, the representative, was a older, chubby guy, says, I don't know. Nobody knows what the woman wants. He who knows what the woman wants knows everything. But even God doesn't know that. So I thought that was funny. Of course, no offense to the to our lady friends here. It was just a funny scene. I'm sure that you're familiar with the joke. So, and it is all that, just a joke. But anyhow, he who knows what the woman wants knows everything. Okay. Now, so we go to Juanpa says, hi, Mehran. Male 23, Costa Rica. Okay, now it's time to open the window again. Fresh air. And he says, Juanpa says, I hope you're well. Thank you. Yesterday, I saw my ex-girlfriend, 23. Thank you for adding that. So you're both 23. We broke up a month ago to pick up a jacket. Okay, so you saw your ex-girlfriend yesterday to pick up a jacket. Oh, is that you who told me about the jacket that you wanted to pick it up? I think that we talked about last time. So he says, and we talked a little bit about her new job. I was okay, but I felt weird, like it was no sexual tension between us. Yeah, good. There shouldn't be. Move on. 23-year-old. I told you about it. You've got no business wanting to stay with that girl. She thinks she's on top of the mountain because at that age, most girls or guys, they don't have enough confidence in themselves. So if somebody is really into them, interested in them, the girl think that, oh, because the guy is so into her, then the guy must not be much. Why? Because she doesn't think that she's that hot. She doesn't have anything going for her, so she really doesn't give herself that kind of credit. And the guy may think, well, this girl is so into me, so maybe she's not really that qualified, because I wonder if there's something better out there, or well, I got this one, what about what else is out there? Or maybe because he's not so sure of himself as far as having accomplished credentials and things that he wanted, so he doesn't think much about himself, and therefore he thinks maybe the girl who's paying so much attention to him is really not that hot because she's paying attention to him. Or simply you guys have grown out of each other and you're on your way to experience life, and either way you have no business thinking that you should stay with this girl who has decided to leave you. So, or you guys both decided together. So there shouldn't be any sexual tension anyhow, and that's fine. Keep it that way. Keep going. Go forward. When a breakup happens, in most cases, over 99% of cases, you should focus to deal with it and move on and experience what life has to offer, because that one relationship, just because you're familiar with her, or whatever your case is, you're familiar with your partner, it doesn't mean that was meant to be or that should be the only one. No. Life has lots of labyrinths and lots of different branches that is just branching out from the tree of life, and you simply take a different branch and go see where that goes. Otherwise, if that relationship was good enough to stick with you guys having enough things in common on consciousness level, or at least you were trying or aware of it, you would have stuck it out. Now that it hasn't, move on. Learn and focus how to deal with it, not to try to get the X back. Getting the X back is only satisfying your ego. It doesn't mean just by getting it back and everything else between you guys are hitting on the right note. No, it wasn't hitting on the right note. That's why the breakup happened, and all those same things that caused the breakup to happen still exist even if you guys get each other's back. I mean, if you guys get back to each other, whatever. So what I'm trying to tell you is that focus on refreshing. When you tried in a relationship, it showed you signs of breaking up. You tried to compromise, you tried to understand each other, and it still didn't work out. You tried again, it still didn't work out, and it led to breakup. Once that happens, don't try to bring it back together anymore. Understand it, and with the knowledge that we have shared on this channel, know about yourself, deal with it, manage it, and move forward and explore to wonderful things that life has to offer. Other partners, possibilities, and take the bull by the horn. Take the opportunity and go. And keep rowing in the ocean with your boat. Let the boat cut its cord from the dock and move forward. There's so many islands out there that is amazingly stuff in there, and you can park there, check it out, find out, and you may find a far better candidate for being in a relationship with, and bond on consciousness level. Trying to get your ex back is all about your ego and desire to prove to yourself that you were not rejected. No, that was a rejection. Oh, that's bad. Rejection is bad. Who says rejection is bad? When you're trying to find a nut for a bolt in a mechanism of a machine or some kind, if you try it and it doesn't fit, that's a rejection by the bolt, rejection of the nut by the bolt. So what does that mean? That means, is it a bad thing? No, because the nut is looking for a fitting bolt. So if the bolt and nut don't fit, it doesn't mean a rejection. Well, it's a rejection, but it's a good sign, because you now can go and find the one that fits you. Because once you find the one that bolt and nut both fit, then you will see why that rejection was so good. It was a guidance that this is not going to work, and it's not going to fix this machine. It's not going to make it run, because these bolt and nuts are rejecting each other. They're not fitting. They're not the right size. Therefore, rejection is not bad. Rejection is a guideline, is a sign to tell you, modify your direction and trajectory. This is not where you land, because this is not going to fit. This is not going to work. That's not the right size. That's not. You go to a place to buy a suit. You put a jacket on. Well, it doesn't fit. What does it mean? The jacket rejected you? Or jacket is giving you a sign, oh, we're not compatible, I'm not your size, and whatever. Or vice versa. You go to a store, they don't have what you want. Is it a rejection? No, it's just showing you that you got to try somewhere else, because what you're looking for is not here. Even though you may be interested in that design or that color of the texture or material of the texture, the textile, you may be interested in that. You think, oh, because you're interested in all those things, then it should be the right suit for you. But not. It's not the right size. Regardless of how you like the design and the texture or the material or textile. So what do? You go and find the right one. It doesn't mean that just because you like something about it, it also means it's the right one for you. Same thing with relationships. You guys get together and you end up breaking up. It means you don't have to get her back. It just means go on, find the one that suits you well, right size, both of you, girl and boy, or whatever your relationships are. So don't try to get the ex back. Just manage it, understand it, and then move on to a better suitable candidates. Okay, now. Ibzi says, hello, sir. This is funny. 2 minutes ago it was sunny. I was sneezing like God knows what. And now there's not much light. Just one moment. As if that made a big difference. All right. So, Ibzib says, 24 Canada, Toronto. You must be tired seeing me here often. Just kidding. No, actually, I welcome every one of you attending, but what I do hope that you guys will remember is to refer the channel to others and encourage the others, promote the channel, whether by letting others know that there's a live talk or putting posts on your social media about this site, something about it, the video of it, and make some comments on it. So others will know, and it helps us to grow. Otherwise, as you guys know, this is here. I'm doing this to make sure that people are supported when they're going through hardship, and at the same time, hoping that it will give more exposure to us and people find the channel. So unless you guys talk about it, we'll end up being a kind of a exclusive club for 10 or 20 people to talk and that really would not help the channel to grow. It would just be a good consultation session for whoever attends. But I hope to, my main purpose, beside being useful, also is to introduce a channel which is helpful to people, and the people would actually refer it to other people through their social media or word of mouth or whatever. So let's go on to next. We have Juanpa says, today she texted me to ask for advice about some work she was doing, and I made the mistake to ask if she was with... why do you do that? Don't do that. Because even if she was or wasn't, that shows that you're hungry for her, and you shouldn't be hungry for her. You should be moving on. Don't condition yourself by giving yourself some promises and hopes that you think you got to get back with her. It has to be a two-way street. Maybe she's calling you to restart something, maybe not. Whatever it is, don't just jump into it. Please, are you going with somebody? Who cares? Just be a man. Do your thing. You want to help her, help her. Don't dangle anything. Oh, for me to help you, you have to come and kiss me. Don't do that. It's so ungentlemanic. Gentlemanic. That's a new word, guys. Gentlemanly. It's very ungentlemanly. If you want to be a friend, be a friend. If you want to help her, help her. If you don't want to help her, don't say, I don't want to help you because you're with somebody. No. Don't try to diss her or to, punish her or zing her. Just decide what you want to do on what she's asking, not connect it to something else. It doesn't make you look good. It makes you look needy beside everything else, on top of everything else. So I made the mistake to ask if she was with someone else. Okay. And she didn't answer me and told me we couldn't go out again because she didn't want to fall in the same kind of relationship with me. She told me we can talk sometimes, but don't go out. See? What you did was you put her in a position of power by asking something. When you go to an ice cream shop and you ask, what is that ice cream made out of? The ice cream person knows that you like that ice cream. So suddenly he's got something that you want. So that's different. But if you just go in the ice cream and just wait and look, you still haven't shown that you like something that you want. So the ice cream clerk, storekeeper, would be more pleasant, more open to answer your questions, or would say, sir, what would you like? I have this ice cream this way, I have that ice cream this way. He starts selling the ice cream. He starts telling you about the ice cream and would be hopeful that you will reciprocate. But if you just go out there and says, do you have a chocolate ice cream? I want half a pound. And suddenly, now, he can give you pretty much a little bit more price than he would have when he doesn't know that you really like the chocolate ice cream so much. You get the gist of it? There's a little diplomatic behavior when you are reconnecting or communicating with your ex. So, you messed up in this department, that's all right, you'll learn. Now she's telling you, oh, we can't be together because I don't want to fall in this. She's now getting you to say, no, I'll do everything you want, I'll be changing. And suddenly then you're now a doormat, and then that's definitely when she's gonna go away. Because no girl really wants a guy who is just there like a little doggy. He would have to be reasonable, as she would have to be, but he would also be able to hold his ground by knowing his own qualities, rather than, I'll do anything to get you back. That will mean she'll be not taking a bus to go away, she'll get a hire a rocket just to escape from you, because that's so unattractive when that happens. So being reasonable and cordial is different than being a doormat. And you're turning yourself to doormat by those opportunities that you open up. So she told me we can talk sometimes, but don't go out. And Juanpa says, I'm okay, but it feels weird that it is all over with her. Well, because you're not really doing anything to help it anyhow. And it should be over. You should not even want anything from her. You should be moving on. How can I accept that? Well, you don't have to accept that. You got to accept the fact that there's so many other wonderful girls out there. The world did not begin and end with this girl. She has the right to choose or change her mind at any time in her life about anything, including a relationship. Being with the man that she chose at one time or then changes her mind. That's her right. But so is your right to move on and enjoy and venture out and find other wonderful candidates out there. So many wonderful, beautiful women out there that you can't even imagine that they will actually be so different that you will say, why did I ever actually choose that? I forgot what your age was. So you remember, guys, I said every comment, put that 3 codes, male, whatever age were you tuning in from. That kind of keeps my mind in tune with who and what age and what culture I'm talking to, speaking with. All right. And how can I stop picturing her with someone else? Thank you, Mehran. No, don't have to picture her. Don't have to stop picturing her. First of all, if you focus on your life, you will not be picturing her because you wouldn't care. You only picture her because it kind of matters to you. It shouldn't matter. Remember, if this wheel doesn't turn for me, I don't care if it turns at all. So if she doesn't matter to you, which she shouldn't, should be focused on other things in life, then it doesn't matter. You wouldn't make a picture of, imagining if she's going out with somebody else or whatever. And perhaps it would be helpful to you to actually picture her having sex with somebody else. Just get that over with. Get that clearly out. Just picture her doing all kind of things with her, with the choice of her own choice. The choice of her boyfriend, like their new boyfriend or whoever. Just get that out. Don't make it be something fearful for you to imagine it and then you go nuts. No, imagine it. Imagine as far as you want to go with it. All kind of things that she's doing with the new boyfriend. Get that to be a non-frightening picture. Then you will settle down and you will realize after a bunch of time you're doing this that this is just a picture, a thought. Neither you would be bothered if it actually is happening or did happen or will happen with her, that she will do these things with another guy, or you would be okay at the same time that it's just a thought. Doesn't mean it's happening. And I really don't care if it does. So make that transition instead of being afraid of your own thoughts. So instead of the thoughts putting fear into your heart, and every once in a while, because of that fear, you would have those images come to you, you will picture everything about her. She's, in a hotel room, she's in a tropical area, she's in someone else's bed, she's doing this. Just get all that out of your head. Just imagine it all. So don't allow your thoughts to become a monster to you, to become the scarecrow for you, to become something that you'd be afraid of it. You would be above your thoughts. Your thoughts no longer would be able to torment you, scare you, or threaten you that they will come with those images in your mind, because you have already imaged everything you could do, and you've done it so often that you're okay with it. If that image comes in, you say, oh, I don't give a shit, that's an image anyhow, it's not an actuality. And even if it was, I'm okay with it, because if this wheel doesn't turn for me, I don't care if it turns at all. I'm focused on other things. And in the meantime, truly and honestly be focused on other opportunities. Go on, man. She's not the only woman on this earth. There are a lot better ones, and the better ones means the ones who are interested in you. Because I don't care how wonderful this girl is, if she's not paying attention to you, she can't be the best choice for you. The best choice for you is the one that meets your standards and also pays attention to you. And only you, as long as you guys are together. So, on that note, be okay with it. The next time she calls you, she say, look, I'll get to it when I can. So, maybe if you can call me tomorrow, I'll see what I can do. Or leave it with me, I'll get back to you. And then just don't ever get back to her. If she calls again and says, well, I'm sorry, I didn't have much time to do it, but I'll get to it. Is it really that important? She says, yes, it is. And I said, well, I don't know. Why don't you study it yourself? What do you need me for? This is just going to be a little bit awkward. I'm busy with my own things, and you have your own boyfriend and busy. So it just becomes a little bit emotionally uncomfortable. What for? We just, we know each other, but that's good enough. We don't have to be involved in each other's lives. So, okay, I wish you well, and then I'll do what I can, and I'll get back to you. And then don't. Do your things. All right. Tony says, haha, well, I don't know what that is for because I forgot what I said. Ibs says, your streams are important. We must text you. You text me. I've got news for you guys. My new site, when it's up, God knows when, but whenever it's up, all the emails and questions would be pay per email. So, start saving. Because all these freebies are going to be only this. All emails going to be a pay per email. Well, I got to make money somehow. Yeah, right? There are a bunch of ways to do it. Either this will be a group therapy session that we will just answer everybody's question from all over the world, and I'll be doing that every day because there will be fees attached to it, or there would be super chats coming day and night from it, so it will be justified to spend that kind of time. Or we would have to have a fee attached to it, or we would have to have other things such as the emails that are being sent to me, a fee attached to it. One way or another, the channel should survive. Otherwise, the value of what is being offered to you free is what? You will think that's exactly its value. Free, nothing. So I don't want you guys to think that way. So start saving, guys. Bartos says, I started to envy them. Envy what? Have I missed one of the beginning of the question? Oh, I lost. I skipped after that. Okay, so I go back to where it was. Daniel says, 23-year-old male from Amsterdam. Oh, okay, we did, I guess, answer that one, no? I was the one that initiated the breakup with my ex. Oh, there must be another question then here. No? That's the first one? All right. So Danielle says, hi, Mehran, 23-year-old male from Amsterdam. I was the one who initiated the breakups with my ex. 7 months later, I still think of her. What are your thoughts? Well, because you haven't moved on. You haven't found anyone better, and you're naturally, by default, because heterosexual male, well, that's what the example I'm using here because that's what I know about. thinks about sex every, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, 20 seconds intervals. If you're busy, you will not. You will be busy doing something, whether it's sports or studying or whatever it is. You would be occupied with that. But if you're not occupied and you're on leisure time, you could be thinking about sex every 20 seconds, every 30 seconds, every minute, every 5 seconds, every 10 seconds. And when that happens, the default images would be the images of the most recent girlfriend. You will remember the most recent relationship with feeling. In other words, not a one-night stand, a relationship. Your ex-girlfriend, the most recent girlfriend that you broke up, the most recent girl that you were in a relationship with feelings. That would be the default woman that comes to your mind. So it is not that you really miss her. It is the fact that you think about sex often, and because of that, the default woman would be the most recent girl that you were in a relationship with. So means you haven't really found somebody else to take that role, and therefore your default image of an ex is still the same girl that you broke up 7 months ago. So remember, the reason that you broke up with her is still there. But the reason that you don't think of it is because you're overwhelmed by your desire for pleasure, intimacy, and that's what you remember. And that overshadows any other logical, reasonable reasons that you had for breakup. Anything that wasn't suitable for you, anything that was not compatible between you two. None of that comes to your mind when you are constantly thinking about her for intimacy, because that is what you think, what you remember, all the good stuff. And the good stuff was, the stuff that was giving you pleasure, that you guys were enjoying each other. The conversations, the touches, the hugs, and intimacy, and all that. So all of that paints over the reasons that you guys broke up, the problems that existed. And lo and behold, all those problems still there, but you are not focusing on them. You're only focusing on the good stuff that you remember by default, and that's why you think, oh, I still think of her, I miss her, because you think of it, all the good stuff about her, and that you guys enjoyed each other. But you're not really refreshing and bringing up, with all those good memories, the files that contain all the problems that caused you to decide for the breakup of whatever it was. So sexuality, intimacy, and all the urges that you have is overshadowing the reasons that you guys broke up. That's why you still think of her in that sense, and not in about the reasons that you broke up with her. So either focus on the problems, because those problems are still there. If you guys, whether you think of it or not, it's still there, those differences, conflicts and divisions. Or you just focus on, your life, progress, accomplish, meet your goals, and be busy with your life and build your life. And you will naturally be less occupied with such thoughts, because you will also have created possibilities to meet other women and try to find and see if you're compatible with those new candidates. Okay, let's go to Ibzi. Ibs says, I need help in changing myself because I always revert back to my old habits. Okay, then do it. Do it. Remember, guys, if you guys get stuck in some things, that you'll find these live streams, of course, they're just a little hints of what could be done, and little suggestions and little not so deep discussions always, because not enough time. You guys can always find your way to go to my site, mind@seekstruth.com, and make an appointment with me on Skype, and then we'll explore your situations in much deeper capacity, and then together we'll explore it, and we figure out what we can do, what you can learn, and focus on to get yourself out of the situation that you've parked your car in and sitting in it and crying all the time. Anyhow, it can help you to clear things up for yourself and become more knowledgeable about your psyche and why it reacts and acts the way it does. So it's just a Skype call away, and you know that I have a special going for you guys, that if you get a 1 hour appointment, I will double it and make it 2. So that's the best I can do for you now. And soon, all the other options in the Skype consultation will be taken away, and it'll be just starting from 1 hour. There is no half an hour one, because really nobody ever used half an hour because it's never enough. So that's why I doubled the time up to 1 hour. So by the time you guys explain your situation with me, half an hour is gone. So therefore nothing is gone from your real time that you scheduled for. And there would be extra half an hour left there plus an hour. So I think I suggest to you guys to take that seriously, and if you really want to move forward and learn more about yourself, book an appointment with me and let's explore your psyche and introduce yourself to yourself, and then let's see how far you can run with that. I think that would be very important for all of us to know the more possibly we can about our own psyche, because it's all in there. All the problems that we're facing is because of our conditionings and not understanding the relationship between thoughts and consciousness, fear, desire, pleasure, and ego. How do they interrelate? How do they affect each other? And how they actually affect the quality of our lives and how we respond, act, and react and negotiate our daily lives. All right, having said that, let's go on to David says mail $22.06. Right. Muhammad says, hi Mehran, I hope you're doing well. Thank you, Muhammad. Remember, guys, where you're tuning in from, how old you are, and your gender. Obviously, some of you are easily to notice, like David, male, Muhammad, male. And we have Maria, says, I do not have a question really, but I just went out on a really nice night out and coming back, I just could not stop crying. Oh, getting flashbacks of my ex, yes, with his new girlfriend, and just could not stop it. Ooh, were you crying with, were you on a date, or you were just with your friends? I really hope I manage to stop these soon, Mehran. I'm so tired and drained. Well, Maria, I think it's time for you to invest a little bit and get on Skype and make an appointment with me, and then we'll explore it together. I think that would be something you might want to consider seriously. Juan Pa says, also something that bothers me is that for her, it is easier to find someone else than for me, because she has some guys always texting her and I haven't found someone else for now. Of course, it is always easier for the girls to find a replacement or find someone who would be paying attention to them, because most girls, whether they know it or not, are faced with the fact that they're popular not because who they are, not because their character, not because they're necessarily their consciousness, content of their consciousness, because that's not known to any boy, any man at the outset. But they're benefiting from the fact that all men who are heterosexual are programmed to pursue a female. So as soon as they see a female, they consider her qualified, until later on they will find out if they're suitable for each other, compatible or not. But that doesn't come at the outset. That comes later. So at the outset, they have a lot more possibility and chances to meet other guys, because other guys, as soon as they see a well-groomed young lady or lady is out there, they will be attracted to her because she's a female, and they're programmed to pursue a female. So that is why they have better chance. But lo and behold, the fact is that the girls, just because they're being approached by some guy, they're not going to accept the guy. They will scrutinize, they would see if the guy qualifies, and they will reject most of them. And just because some guy is paying attention to them, if they're smart enough, that doesn't mean that the guy is qualified. Oh, he paid attention to me, so he's qualified. No, they're not going to think that way. If they do, well, that's a very stupid way of picking out a new boyfriend. So it goes both ways. The girls should know that just because a guy paying attention to them, that doesn't mean that the guy thinks of their persona as a high quality persona. The guy is reacting to his genes that is programmed for procreation and pursue a female. And that knowledge should help the girls to know that not just everyone who pays attention to them should be considered qualified. It's a two-edged sword. Yes, they get lots of guys, but they also should know that these guys, just because they pay attention to her, they're not qualified. They got to be vetted, figured out who they are, what they do, and what kind of manners they have, mentality. So all of that comes later that could bite them in the back if they're not careful to choose the right guy and not be fooled by the fact that the guy's got a smile on and is nice and, you know, brings flour and all that. Just all that bullshit can disappear in a second when they find out that the guy is not really behaving well, is not put together properly. So, yes, they will have more chances, but that doesn't mean that those chances will be accepted. At the same time, doesn't mean that those attentions that are being paid to that girl have any, good qualities. Not necessarily. Any man could be interested to any woman as long as they are programming their genes in that way. So they're not really pursuing the person, they're pursuing the gender. They're pursuing what gender they're programmed in their gene to follow. And in this case would be a woman, and she's a female, so they will follow her. But that doesn't mean that they're following her because she's such a wonderful person and they know about her and her persona, her character, her consciousness. No. And then she will pretty much soon figure out, well, he was an asshole just acting on behalf of his program, his genes. That's it. So that is not really, but yes, they have more chances to sift through. But you can simply approach a girl, because traditionally boys approach a girl. I know there are other cases also these days, but because of that, then you have the chance and the upper hand in a way to choose the girl that you think is worth your approach. Because you should not approach any girl that you see based on this whole program that you have in your genes that she's a female, I gotta know. Just because she's a female doesn't qualify her to be the right girl for you. Remember, you're a heterosexual male, you're attracted to a female. Therefore, that doesn't mean any girl that you're attracted to is also a qualified girl for you to be in a relationship with. It's two different things. That's your reaction, that's your reflexes, that's your instinct to pursue a female. But that's your gene. That's not your way of to see if she's qualified or not. That's the initial invitation. And then you gotta vet her as well. See if she's qualified. Who is she? Where is she coming from? What does she do? What's her education? What's her manners? So you have that chance to choose closer to what you're looking for versus the girl who simply sees all these attentions from these different guys coming towards her, and she makes a mistake, thinks all these guys could be qualified because they're paying attention to her. She should also be smart, say, okay, that's an attention, that's an invitation to, get to know. But that doesn't mean just because the guy paid attention, he's qualified. She will vet them. She will figure out if they're qualified or not. Same thing for you. So it's all going to come out and balance the same. Doesn't matter if at the beginning there's more interest for her or for you. it's going to be balanced because eventually what's important is if the two are bonding on conscious level, and that's going to take a bit of a time, but no matter how long it takes, it eventually falls apart and it goes by the wayside, the ones who don't qualify, and only one, which seems most closer to either one of you, will be you know having the chance to have a relationship with. So, having said all that, you just focus on the wonderful opportunities that are out there, so many wonderful women out there, and then try to be a gentleman and then get to know them. It's not a big deal. They're also out there interested to get to know you, you know? So now we have Maria. No, Maria, there's two. Maria says, I really hope I manage to stop these soon. I'm so tired of it. I think I addressed this. Yeah, there's a way to stop all these feelings, but we just got to get a little deeper into it. So we have Juanpa says, oops. Also, something that bothers me is that she has more easier to find than for me because she's good. Yeah, okay, yeah, we talked about that. Kazi Tuta says, good evening. Said, good evening, Kazi. Muhammad says, Mehran, do you believe that imitation is a part of learning, but why do I feel bad about that sometimes? For example, I like to be a comedian, and out of nowhere, I feel like I imitate them. That's okay. So what is your opinion? No, it's okay. It's not like, because you imitate them, then you're going to be like them or be that way all the time. Through life, you will find different phases that you will imitate this and you'll imitate somebody else, and later on you will get over that and you incorporate your own style, and then you use some style of others. That's okay. It's not a big deal. There's nothing wrong with imitating something good. You learn from it. And then eventually you incorporate your own brand of way. And it could have influences of that. That's all right. No harm done. Jay Sned. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Jay, the jig is up. We know you're a troll. So why don't you just simply go and do your things? Have a nice day. All right. Now, give me a second, guys. See what I can do about this person. All right. One moment, guys. Ein Moment, bitte. Sorry, guys. We just need to do this. All right. That should do it for now. All right, who we have next? Strilker. Hello, sir. 22 male from Germany. Guten Abend. Wie geht's heute dir? Chelsea Henry says, hi, lack of trust is making my relationship suffer. Ah, hello, Chelsea. How are you? I remember you wrote me today, I believe. There have been other women involved during our breakups. He also has female friends that have solicited sex from him. Now, Chelsea, one of the rules here is that it helps me to understand you better by knowing what your background, cultural background, what is his cultural background, where do you live, how old you guys are. So where are you tuning in from, where each one of you are from, how old you guys are each, and that's it, I guess. You know, where you live, what your cultural background is, both of you, and how old you are. So please furnish those info to me so I'll get back to your question, because I need to use that in order to understand the situation better. Striker 51 Full says, I watch your videos, it helps a lot. Got dumped because she lost feelings. Oh, did she now? She should go to the doctor and find out why she lost feeling. Maybe it's too cold, froze up her fingers. She lost feelings. She said she realized after only one fight, not even a fight, that it's been different for her for weeks. Kind of weird. Yeah, it is. Because, you know, divisions and conflicts happens even within oneself, let alone two different consciousnesses. If she's not aware of that, well, obviously she's not ready for any kind of relationship, because divisions and conflicts bound to happen. It's impossible for people not to have differences, even if you are siblings, you know, that who grew up with the same parents. You will have differences in your consciousness, let alone if you're two different gender, you're from a different city, or you're from different families, and you know, all different backgrounds. So if she doesn't understand that and expects that it to be a holiday, rosy garden, and just walk along in rain romantically and have music players behind them, and carriage there to ride from the park out and come home with, you know, a shawl over her. All that bullshit that, it's not a bullshit, it's wonderful, but it's not what a typical day-to-day life would be like. So if she thinks that's what relationship is, well, you have news for her. That's not what happens in relationships all the time. Maybe once in a while, so special occasions, but that's different. So that means she wasn't mature enough for any kind of relationship. So don't worry about her. In Germany, so many beautiful girls there, and so many educated, mostly educated, and so go for someone else. No big deal. And he says, we are together for 1.5 years. We were together, yeah, okay, 1.5. That means you were 19 and a half, and she was what? I don't know how old she was. You're too young to choose a right girl anyhow. It was a good experience. You got to know her, and you can see that just as beautiful and smiley and wonderful she was at the beginning, suddenly she turned around and whole different uh, uh, outlook on life and relationships because of one argument. And sometimes an argument shows you what kind of a metal your partner is made out of. Can she handle it, or can he handle it? Are you guys going to be able to reconcile? Are you guys going to be able to be reasonable and discuss things? Or the ego is so big that if something goes against your preferences, then suddenly the ego will overshadow the desire to have you in relationship again, and then Titanic, we cut it off. And no, that is a narcissistic way of behavior. So if she is like that, all cut and dry, Titanic, better let it go right now. Anyhow, you guys are too young to want to stick together for more than a year and a half. Anyhow, that was time. So let her go, and she can figure out what she wants to do, and you can go and find other girls. It's Germany, so many beautiful girls there. What are you talking about? Now, Majid says he says something in Farsi. Jigar to bedar. Hello, Majid. How are you? Majid says, finished cinema. Hopefully, you're still here when I get home. Oh, yeah, I think so. Danielle says, actually, I'm 33. Made a typing mistake. Danielle, what did you say? 23? Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, just take the age out, age part that I referred to out, but everything else I said stands. So, if you think I'm going to repeat everything, no. Just take that out. Just like you make a correction here, 33 was a mistake, 23 was a mistake, 33 is correct. I'm just going to tell you, take the portion about the age being you be so young out. But still stands, even the age part, just change it to 33. You're still very young. You still have lots of opportunities out there. So, all right. Striker 51 says, 22 male Germany. Thank you for repeating that, Striker. She is 20. Had a 4 year long relationship. Oh my goodness. You were 18, she was 16. No good. Got it. If you are not separated, I cut the cord and let you guys go away. It's not the right age for that kind of a long duration. She is 16 when you were 18. She's 20 now, and you're 22. You guys hardly knew yourselves, let alone know what you're looking for in a partner. And you had that experience, and at this age, you've grown out. You think now you can all do better because you've seen not big changes from 18 to 22, or from 16 to 20 is a big change. But from 18 to 22 is somewhat change. So both of you have exhausted the changes that you could expect and the novelties that you could expect come with older age. And now you're looking, because you both think that you know it all now. At age 22, you think you know everything there is to know. And at age 20, she thinks she's a full-fledged woman and she knows everything there is to know. And now she's looking for, I don't know, someone age 26 or 27, or, she thinks she's all that and wiser than you, or maybe you think that, she's just right now. Or I don't know, was it you cut it off? Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. So regardless of that, everything I said still stands the same. Plus the fact that you guys been together for too long at that young age, it's time to move on anyhow. And the reason you think of her is exactly as I mentioned, really, pretty much. So let's see what we have here. And Striker says, again, thank you very much. German Precision says, repeats the 22 male Germany. I appreciate that very much with every comment you make. That's good. And with me, it only lasts 1.5 years. She said, I did nothing wrong, but still I feel like there could be someone else. Scared to like someone again and getting heartbroken again. Hard to open up after this. What do you mean heartbroken? You said, oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, that's different than Danielle's. I'm sorry. Okay, so you said, oh, I mixed it up with Danielle. Danielle was the one who initiated the breakup. Yeah? Yeah. So, okay. So, I guess I mixed up the... So Striker says, let me read that again. Watch your videos helped a lot. I got dumped because she lost feelings. Oh, I see. Okay. She said she realized after only one fight. Okay, so we talked about that immaturity and all that, and the one fight and so on, and carriage, we talked about that. And then he continues, says, she, 20, had a 4-year-long relationship. Oh, she had a 4-year-long relationship before you. Not that this was your relationship with her. Okay. She had a 4-year relationship long before you. That means she was 16 to 20. That's not a relationship. That's just, getting from teenage to adult. The legal age, pretty much. And we got together on the day she broke up with him. Oh, I asked her if she wants to be alone, but she said she does not need it. And with me, it only lasts 1.5 years. She said, I did nothing wrong. With you, okay, so you're saying she had a 4-year relationship before you. Well, yeah, because she was so young, she didn't know really what relationships was all about. So she stuck it out, whatever it was, because she was going to school and it was all like, oh, yeah, she has a boyfriend. She felt good about it. It wasn't like a real anything. But now that she was 20, okay, they broke up. And with you, it's only 1.5 years. And she said that it's not because you did anything wrong. It's because she feels like there could be someone else. Okay, yeah, let her go. So what? She thinks if somebody else, then go find somebody else. What are you doing with me? Like someone again and getting heartbroken again. And then she said, I did nothing wrong, but still. Now, you feel, I feel like there could be someone else. Oh, you think that she may be flirting with somebody else. Okay, it's kind of hard to figure out what I'm reading here, but that's okay. All right. So you think the reason that she says that there's nothing that you did wrong, but she thinks that you think that there's somebody else that she's hanging around with. All right. I feel like there would be somebody else. Okay. Scared to find out. Like someone again and getting heartbroken again. Hard to open up after this. No, come on, you're making a big deal out of it. You're 22 years old and some relationship with some girl, whatever she's in her head. It doesn't mean just because she's a female and you're attracted to a female, that doesn't mean just because she's female and then you find her qualified because she has the credentials of you being attracted to her. That's in your gene program. That doesn't mean she's also right in everything, every behavior she makes just because she's a female and she has a vagina and you want that. That doesn't qualify her to be right. Or that doesn't qualify her to be almighty or anomaly or a deity or better than you or wiser than you or smarter than you. She's just holding the ice cream. She's the ice cream seller in the ice cream shop. And you want the ice cream, and just because she's in control of it, you think that she's also an authorized personnel to handle, I don't know, choking or cardiac arrest. Imagine you're in an ice cream shop, and the ice cream man who's selling the ice cream behind the counter, and everybody's lined up, and somebody faints. And suddenly everybody thinks the ice cream shop is the most qualified person just because he's in control of the stuff that you guys want. He's just an ice cream shop man. He doesn't know anything. He's find out who's a doctor among the people who are there. What I'm trying to get to you is that just because the ice cream man is in control of what you desire, what you want, the ice cream, that doesn't make the ice cream man right in his views or her views about world politics and everything else that is going on, economics or humanitarian behavior or compassionate or values. No. But this is what really happens to most guys. When they see a woman, just because she's what they're programmed to be attracted to, she's a female, and they're attracted to female, they also think she's going to be smarter than them and her views are more valuable than his about politics, about justice, about economics, about compassion for the world and helping others, whatever it is, just because she's in control of what you're desiring, which is pleasure, intimacy. And suddenly you're willing to do anything, even listen to what she says. Oh yes, laugh at stupid jokes, just because you want to impress her. So don't let that to be the decision maker for you to choose and to figure out if she's qualified and is compatible with you, just because one thing about her that you desire, and that's the fact that she's a female and you're drawn to female. But that doesn't automatically qualify her to be the right girl for you. Yeah, it's the right gender, because that's you're programmed to be attracted to, in your case. But being the right gender doesn't mean that her persona is also attractive or acceptable to you. You got to find that out. And that resides in her consciousness. And that comes through time. You will get to know that. Now, in this case, you simply think just because she's 20-year-old and you like her because you're programmed to like her, and suddenly you will have to think of her as the best of the best. No. Simply recognize that yes, she is the gender that you're programmed to be attracted to, and you are, because she's a female, but also recognize that she's not qualified to be your girlfriend. Far from it. She doesn't have the attributes in a way of her behavior, her manner, her compatibility, her mentality, her reciprocation, her interaction with you, her valuing your character. None of that is there because she says, well, I'm not sure this and that, whatever she said. She broke up with you. Which means she's not qualified. If some girl breaks up with you, that means she's not qualified to be your girlfriend. Why do you run after her? There's so many wonderful girls out there. And of all places, in Germany. Well, gee, what else do you want? Highly educated. And what else do you want? Go figure out, go find out, go socialize with positive people, good people, and find more compatibility with someone else who's more suitable to you. All right. Don't despair. You're just 22. You shouldn't be so easily acceptance of any girl that comes from. Do you think the girls accept any guy that comes in front of them? Yeah, some of them do, but we're not talking about that quality. We're talking about the, high quality girls out there, which are in millions and millions. They vet the guy. They figure out who he is, how he behaves. They check him out. Down and up. Education, manners, how he dresses, what he has, what kind of job he has, and what's going for him, what are his plans, what is his consciousness, what is his mentality, how does he treat them. All of that. Then why don't you guys do it? Suddenly, as soon as she's a girl, she's in high heels and all dude up, she's qualified. How? See if as a person, as a center, as a human being, what value she has. Not as how she looks, because she had nothing to do with how she looks. That was given to her. But her personality, her consciousness is what you will build a relationship with. So figure those out, just like the girls do for guys. All right, Bartos says, hello, Mehran. Great to hear you. Male 23. I had fantastic evening taking rest after Christmas, watching movie. You taking rest after Christmas? What was it? The Christmas was, what, were you Santa Claus? You were running around delivering gifts? How could you be tired? That was a holiday anyhow. I thought Christmas is a rest from the rest of the year. Now you're taking rest after. Then suddenly I have noticed on social media that my ex is on a date with her boyfriend. Who gives a shit? So what? What, do you think she left you to go and live in a convent? Huh? She just became a, what? What did she become? She's a girl. She broke up with you and she's still gonna go after another guy. Wouldn't you do that? You broke up with her, you will be welcoming a nice girl that come into your life and get to know you, wouldn't you? So, what's the surprise? I started to envy them that they are having fun together and I'm sitting here alone. Well, she was having fun with you too, didn't she? And then what happened? She broke up. Same thing could happen with them. So it's just the beginning of it. And whether they're having fun or not, it shouldn't bother you. So sure, let them have fun. Don't wish them ill at all. Don't give a damn. Wish yourself good. Don't wish anybody else ill. Just wish good things for you as well. So what? They're going on a date and they're having fun. Okay, big deal. That doesn't stop your chances to have fun or find a nice girl for you. You will. Maybe not tonight, but you will. So what's the big deal? I started to envy them that they are having fun together and I'm sitting here alone. Okay. What is not as bad? You're watching a good movie and you're enjoying it. What's wrong in being alone once in a while? Why I have such feelings? That's natural, normal feelings. She was your girlfriend and now she's going out with somebody else. Naturally, you have this feeling of possessiveness. It's like no different than, without meaning to demean anyone or compare anyone to anything or any object, but I want to deliver a point. Just imagine if you have a bicycle and then somebody else is riding it, you will feel like, hey, come on, it's my turn now. Give my bicycle back. That's it. Or even if you sell your bicycle and later on you see somebody's riding on the street, say, oh, that was my bicycle, I miss it. Because you had certain energy on that bicycle. You spent time. You went uphill, downhill with that bicycle. You had invested energy in that, interacted with that bicycle. You have memories. You have cooperation with that. These are part of your life that you see in that bicycle. That's why it's so hard to sell a car, to sell a bicycle, to sell your horse, or to sell your book, or to sell something that you had, because you had spent time with it, and your thought and time interacted in something that book was part of it. The bicycle, car, horse was part of it. So you cook a certain kind of a food with your partner several times or often. Then after you guys break up, every time you make that food, it reminds you of that because you spent some time together. In that period of time, you created something. You were involved. Your energy was involved, both of you, in doing something together. And that is what you're missing. Not the fact that making that food, or riding a bike, or riding a car, or riding a horse. You can do all that with other bicycles and cars and horses and other people that you can make that dish, or making it by yourself alone. It's just the way you experienced it, the energy and time that you invested in that is what you were really missing. But otherwise, think about the problems that still exist between you and her, and the reasons that you guys broke up. Those problems are still existing. They're still there. Just because she's going out with somebody else, that doesn't mean all her flaws or problems that were there non-existent now. It's all, she's all perfect now that she's going out. No, because you only see her in that light of a picture, snapshot. Otherwise, the personality is the same. She's still got to go home and wash her mouth and, go to the bathroom, or the same thing that every human being does. So she's not a deity. Your desire makes her to seem she's better than you, and she's beyond all the needs that you and other people may have. For food, for sleeping, for washing her face, for cleaning up. She's still going to be just as anybody else. So take that image of deity away from her and make her to be seen by your eyes as she is, a human being with all her shortcomings and specialities, not just the specialities. Oh, she's beautiful. Oh, she's also dewed up. Oh, she's in high heels and she's gorgeous. But no, that's a snapshot. She's still a human being, and that human being is in her consciousness. If you think of her, she still has the same challenges in her consciousness, same incompatibility between the two conscious of yours and her is still there. So if you look at her that way, you won't be focused on, oh, she's having a ha-ha with a new boyfriend. So big deal. They may or may not. It's not supposed to be good or bad for you. They may have the same kind of, divisions and conflicts between their consciousnesses later on with that other boyfriend. So is that going to make you happy? It shouldn't. It shouldn't make a damn difference to you. All it should focus on is the fact that you are not with her. She can do whatever the hell she wants to do, and you can do whatever the hell you want to do. And your job is to take care of yourself. Remember, if this wheel doesn't turn for me, I don't care if it turns at all. So you shouldn't care who she's happy with or not happy with, or what she's doing, what she's not doing. It's her decision, her life. Respect that, but also respect yourself and move on. Find other beautiful girl, wonderful girl. And then you're what? 20 what? 22? What are you? 22. Jesus. Stop this. Trust me. Be patient. Watch your movie. Enjoy your thing. Going out and it doesn't make her that she made it in life. No. She just went out with some guy and that's it. Who's that guy? Who's the girl? And they're still subject to all the elements and challenges that life will introduce to them. So nothing is like, oh, she's now elevated to divinity and I'm sitting here alone. No, you have all the chances and opportunities in front of you. You're going to go and finish your university. If you haven't, if you have, you'll get a job. If you haven't, you will. And you will build your life and you will have wonderful opportunities to meet other girls. That's how you should think. Not about what she's doing and I'm here. No. That's a moment of snapshot of this life. About you, you're not always alone. It just happened to be now. Later on, a year from now, you'll be with some girl that you'll say, oh, why did I even think of that one? So, move on. Don't be like that. Respect yourself and believe in current and flow of life. Enzilis. Wow. I still have pain everywhere, man, after that gym workout. I guess when you get old, your recovery becomes so slow. Not used to that. And I guess I still go to the gym and work out like if it was 20 years ago. I should have slowed down on that. Chelsea says 35-year-old female. Okay, Florida. All right, let's go back to Chelsea. Okay. Chelsea, who is from Florida and is 35-year-old, she says, lack of trust is making my relationship suffer. Are you telling me you are still with the same person? She says there have been other women involved during our breakups. He also has female friends that have solicited sex from him that he still keeps company. And Chelsea, how old is he? You know, guys, you all know that I'm not a doctor, but just to illustrate something, when you go to a doctor, do you say, or let's say a shoemaker, so it won't be, do you just say, okay, I have a little bit of a tummy ache? That's it? Or do you also say that, you know, I ate 2 kilos of carrots just about 2 hours ago? Or do you also say that I'm allergic to, I don't know, whatever else, milk that I had, and I'm bloated? Or you only give a little bit pieces of information, hoping that the doctor or the shoemaker will put it together. If you just say, hey, this shoe is not right, but you don't say it's not the right fit, it cuts my toe, or the color I don't like, or it's got a hole at the bottom, or whatever. Give me the info, throw me the bone, not piece by piece, all at once. Chelsea, I want to know how old is the guy, where is he from, what is his background, and the cultural background will help me. Are you both born and raised in Florida? One of you or both of you come from a different background, nationality, cultural backgrounds? Are you both from the same cultural background, and which cultural background that is, or is it different? All of these are important. I try to respond as much as I can right now, but please do furnish those information below. I'm going to go check it out in a second. So she says, there have been other women, and he's been solicited for sex with the other woman, and she keeps, those women in company. Well, obviously, that will affect your trust level. And I get the idea that you're still with him, yeah? So you guys haven't broken up. It's just that the trust issue is there. So why don't you simply sit down with him and tell him, listen, this is what's happening with me. First of all, the history, the fact that you've been entertaining other women while we were together, it doesn't sit well with me. Secondly, if you would have said, okay, I stopped that, and then also evidence would show that you have, then it would have been fine. But obviously, you're still keeping all these girlfriends around, which I don't know. So they're not like in a group that they have their own boyfriends, or, we all know. Tell him, how would you have felt if I had friends on the side, which they were not female? Tell him, how would you have felt if you had done the same thing he had done, and you would still have a bunch of male friends that you would associate with? Just tell him, can you put yourself in that shoe and think, what would you say to me in that case? Because how you would feel if I were doing that is exactly how I feel, even worse. So bring that up to him point blank. Don't be shy, and be prepared for him not to be willing to let go, which means he's not committed to you. And if he's not committed to you and you want to be in a committed relationship, it just means you got to walk away. You got to be ready to go head to head. If you have thought it through, did all your calculations, and you've come to the limits, and you say, you can't take this anymore, it is not healthy, then you should be prepared when you start conversation with him, a cordial, peaceful, friendly conversation, a mature conversation, but be prepared to have a deal breaker, meaning prepared to move on and break it off. Because sometimes it takes that for the other person to recognize. Because if you put up with everything, then the other person says, what's my motivation? What's my reason to accept her requests? Why? I'm having a girlfriend and I'm having a bunch of other girls that I fraternize with, or, chit chat or flirt. I feel good about myself, and therefore I don't feel I need the girlfriend that much because there are other girls that I can be with anytime. He's gotten it's the illusion that any of those girls could be his girlfriend or as good as you or have a relationship the same as he has with you. But you got to break that illusion by simply talking to him and be prepared to walk away and let him feel your disappearance from his life. Don't be a suck up and say, but he's so. Don't. You got to be ready for a real clarity in your relationship, and that will not happen by his volunteer behavior. He's not going to volunteer that. He says, oh, darling, you're so good that I'm going to be very fair to you because I'm such an asshole and hanging around with other girls and sleeping with them, and even though I have a girlfriend, but you know what? I'm just going to throw you a bone. I'm going to say, okay, I will be committed to you from now on without you even do anything. Why would he do that? He's having it both ways. He's having a good girlfriend who pays attention to him and is jealous about him, and naturally so, and rightfully so. And he also has a bunch of other girls that he's flirting with, and he's feeling a real manly about himself. So he's not gonna give that up unless you put your foot down and say, listen, I'm not a silly Lucy Sally. You want to be with me, you got to commit as much as I have. You don't, it's your wish, no problems. You go on your way and I go my way. I don't like the fact that you're hanging around with these girls. And I bet you, if I was hanging around with these other guys, you would say the same thing. You wouldn't even stand a moment. Not even half as much as I have endured this. This is disrespect to me, and it is not harmonious with what I had in mind that a relationship could be. If you don't have that much respect or need or compatibility with me, which you feel you have the need to be with other girls, then go on. Doors open, and you move on, and I will move on. No problems. And don't look back. When you do that, don't look back. That's it. Finish the conversation. He made his decision. You made your decision. It's not compatible. You move on. Don't ever call him back unless you've got some assurances that you could accept. Otherwise, this will go on. It will not stop by itself. So you got to set the parameters. Say, listen, whatever you do, I'm going to do. You're going to go flirt with girls? I'm going to go flirt with guys. You don't like, you want to have other friends that are girls? Well, then you say that you're going to have other guys that are going to be your friends. You see how it, how it grabs him. So that conversation should take place. You can't just hope that the trust will come back by his behavior. His behavior obviously is not right. So let him see, let's see if he can convince you. And if he does, then you decide. If he doesn't, then you move on and be prepared to move on. All right. Striker says, 22 male, Germany. Thank you a lot, sir. Sorry for writing incoherently. No, you didn't. You wrote good. It was just me thinking it was about you. I know I shouldn't be this negative. It is just that I feel scared to like someone again, spending time with her and get into a relationship just to get hurt after that. After a break, I can't eat, sleep, focus, or do anything else. I don't want to go through this again. Well, listen, I have news for you. This, what you just explained, is how we men feel. This is how to be a man. You are a caveman. You feel possessive about your woman. You feel you want a certain kind of assurances so you won't get hurt emotionally because you feel you don't deserve to get hurt emotionally. You need the attention of your woman. This is how we men are. We love our women. And when we happen to be in a relationship and we respect that relationship, we love her, we want to be assured that she also reciprocates. So the feeling of that you feel, how you feel after a breakup, it's normal. It's how we men feel. You can't stop that. You can't have every woman to be the right woman for you. There will be a few right women for you in your life, but they haven't come across yet. But in between, there will be lots of wrong women that at the beginning, at some stage, they look right because that's the level of your expectations at the time, or that's what's available at the time to them or to you. And as you grow, you will know more about yourself and you will know more about the kind of woman that you want. But all through your life, there will be breakups. And if you don't want to feel the pain, then you're going to go have to become a monk and live in a monastery, and you will not have to worry about anything because you will never be hurt. But if you're a man, a heterosexual man who loves women, then this comes with the territory. Women change their mind. For one reason, again, you guys may fall apart, may grow apart, may you change your mind or she changes her mind, and more likely women have this statistics that they change their minds more often than men. Or maybe I'm wrong, maybe not in all cases, but there are lots of women who change their minds a lot. And that's normal for them. That's how they're built. They look for different things and they have different anxieties and insecurities, and they try to accommodate themselves in that way. But you, nevertheless, you're a man. You're supposed to take all that. You're built for that. You're built to take the pain and the sorrow, and not just your own. If you have a family, you take the pain of your wife, your children. You feel sad and protective about them. You feel all kinds of things that they go through. You feel it too. That's the sign of a good man, a real man. He's compassionate, strong, can give lots of love and protect his family and feel their pain and try to take strides to fix it, help them. That's what we are. So learn it from now. This business is just child's play. This is part of relationships. You get to know a girl, you like a girl, you fall in love with her, she breaks up with you eventually, sooner or later, or not at all, or often. But whatever it happens, it's okay. It's normal. It's part of your duty. It's part of you as a man. You're supposed to take it, and you're built to take it. Nothing happens with you. Nothing happens to you. You just go through some sadness and so on. But the beauty of it is that you will learn from it, and you will open your eyes as soon as you stop treating yourself as a piece of shit and sit at home and sad and think that the world has come to an end. As soon as you stop that and you go out, you'll see, oh my goodness, so many beautiful women, so many wonderful women. I can have many compatibilities with them. You will get to know them, and you'll be surprised at why you were ever feeling so sad about that breakup at age 22 or 23, because there's so many wonderful women out here that they don't even, the exes don't even measure up to these ones. Each one better than the other, because you're also growing, you're changing your expectations and your standards, and then you will meet more qualified women anyhow. So you're at a different level. So this level that, every level that you have a breakup, you can be damn sure that there will be a better woman waiting for you somewhere else, because you will be growing and you will learn from it, and your expectation will go higher, and you will watch for more details and better qualifications and qualities in the next possible relationship with the woman of your choice. So understand, whatever you're going through is normal. Whatever you're going through, it comes with the package of being in a relationship. Whatever is going through is how it happens, and whatever you're going through, you are built for it. Nothing happens to you. You'll be sad. It'll pass, and you will find far better relationships. So get off your ass and stop babying yourself. Age 22, you're in one of the most advanced countries in the world. Don't even give it a second thought. Go go out with your friends, but watch my video that says things you should not do after a breakup. Things you must not do after a breakup. Watch that video and stay away from that shit, and then you will be fine. You will be perfectly okay. And this is a blessing. You learn it. You become tougher. You become more wise and wiser. And you will choose better next time. All right. Thank you, Daniel. All right. So Chelsea says that he's 38. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think we answered that. So Chelsea, I hope that you got all that I talked about for you, with you. Now, so let's go to Azidan. Azidan says, "Hi Mehran, I'm from Netherlands. And I am 22-year-old male. My ex-girl broke up with me 4 months ago." Then what are you doing there still? 4 months later, you're talking about it. It's it's 3 months too long. You should have been over her in 1 month. To age 22, you can get the world by the tail. Nothing can stop you. What are you moaning about? So you liked the girl and she left you. Okay. Every one of them. She's what? Probably what? 22, 23, 21, 20? That's what they do at the time. They're jumping around to find out what else is out there for them. They're curious, like you are. So don't expect them to marry you at that age. What for? They still don't know who they are, let alone know what they want. And you, at this age, you haven't really accomplished the stuff. So you feel kind of not so sure of yourself about confidence. And the girl that you find, you say, oh, she accepted me, because you know you haven't made anything out of yourself. You don't have much to offer. So you think she's doing you a favor, that while you don't have a good job or you don't have much to offer, you haven't accomplished much, but she's accepted you. So now you think, oh, it's an anomaly. What if she leaves me? And if she does, you think nobody else will love me, because you don't have much confidence in you, because you haven't accomplished it. So what I'm telling you is focus on your life. Go build yourself. Accomplish things. If it's school, finish your university. If it's a job, get a good job. Be able to become independent and feel good about yourself. Then you will not be scared if somebody leaves you, or if you don't find a girlfriend for a while, because you know that you have so much to offer, and you have built something out of yourself. You feel confident, and you're sure that eventually there'll be a girl who will have a good head on her shoulder, and she would see a quality and would be attracted to a man like you, with your manners, behavior, and your accomplishments. You have a job and you're independent and you can provide and all that, so forth. This all makes a difference. So your fear right now is not because you won't find anybody else. Your fear is that you don't know if you're qualified enough. So go make yourself qualified. Endow yourself with knowledge, with job, with making money, and then, have a good, decent job and status in society as far as, your lifestyle is concerned. And then you will find a lot more girls. And so, as Down continues, I tried begging, pleasing, everything. Oh God, don't say that. But it didn't help. You shouldn't have begged. No girl will ever in a million years will respond to begging. Women are looking for someone strong who can protect them, who can help solve problems, who can endure hardship. If they see you begging, first of all, they lose the sight of the fact that you're capable of enduring hardship, that you're crumbling and falling. And if you're crumbling because of their effect on you, which they don't think much about themselves, but they see they've been able to make you crumble, they figure, how are you going to respond to the world and its challenges? You're going to crumble sooner, because the challenge is going to be bigger and stronger than she is. But she figures if you can't stand not being with her, it pretty much means you're weak. They don't translate into that you really like them and love them and value them. They translate that to weakness, because that's how they interpret that for themselves. That they feel they're weak if they can't live without somebody. Not all of them, but we're talking about some good percentage. So they see you in the same light. That if you can't control yourself and you're falling all over yourself and you're begging and all that, they want someone that they would feel they can lean on him, that he would protect them, he would save them, he would help them. Not someone that is begging them to come back to their lives because they're so useless without her, and she doesn't think she's much. So she thinks, if he's useless without me and I don't think I'm much, boy, he's really useless. He's not going to be able to protect me. He's not going to be able to provide for me. He's not going to be able to help me. Therefore, they lose all respect and values for you by that begging. Do not ever beg. Not because it means you don't respect a woman or you don't love her. No, you love her and you respect her. But you also want to be known as what you can offer, the man that you are. And that will ruin that image that you want to be seen as if you beg. No woman likes a man who begs. You can be reasonable, you can talk about things and try to correct the mistakes that you guys agree on. Try to make modification in your behavior. If you're doing something that is not right, of course you apologize, but that is not what we're talking about. We're talking about when a breakup with a decent man, you're a decent man, and your girlfriend, you have proven that you're a decent man, you've done nothing physically or emotionally wrong to her, so now you're breaking up. At that time, you do not beg to get her back. You can discuss it, and if it doesn't work, then move on. But you never beg. When you do that, it's already done. She'll never come back, and she shouldn't, and you shouldn't want her. Because she will always think of you that, oh, he begged me, and you will always remember, I begged. Then you want to up it. You want to cover that mistake that you made by begging, that image that you put in her head, and you become not so kind anymore. You become selfish. You try to prove something. That is going to affect your relationship because you have that image of you in your mind that she saw you as that, a weak man who was begging her. And a man always likes to have this kind of a stage in the relationship that I'm capable, that you can look up to me, you can lean on me. And knowing that image that he has left in the girl's mind that he's begging, he wouldn't like it. So he now starts to counter it by becoming an asshole, a bit by bit. That's not good. And he doesn't mean to be an asshole, he just wants to fix that image, but it's going to have a negative effect. So, in any way you look at it, it's not helpful, it's not going to fix anything, and it's not going to have a latent psychological benefits at all. So just discuss things, reason things, don't beg. Okay, enough about begging. So he says, I tried begging, pleading, it says pleasing, but pleading, everything, but it didn't help. Then I was alone, then I was done with the pain and stopped texting her. And etc. And go on with my life. Now she wants to see me again. Tell her, what do you want to see me for? And how long has it been since then and now? You need to make sure that you will tread carefully. You got to fix that image of begging out of her head without being disrespectful, malicious, or asshole. Be a gentleman, but you can fix it. But anyhow, you may want to make an appointment with me, because I don't want to turn this into a dating game or a dating consultation. It's for breakups. But in special cases, you can make a Skype consultation appointment with me. Go on my site, mindthat6truth.com. Click on Talk to Me for consultation and make an appointment. If you make a 1 hour appointment, I'll double it and we'll get some exploration together and figure what you should be doing before you meet her. Anyhow, I hope that was something helpful to you, and then let me go on to next. All right. Okay. Guys, many of you who have put questions here, of course, because questions are piece by piece and it can't be all at the same time. And so I want to get it moving, so I answer whatever I see here, then I go to another question, then I come back to you when I see your follow-up questions. It may be cut in pieces, so if that has helped you, great. If it hasn't, make sure you make an appointment with me on the consultation, Skype consultation, and we'll follow it up and go through it in detail together and put all the pieces together, plus a lot more that we can discuss. Otherwise, I'm sorry that it can't be continuous because the questions are not continuous. So it brings a break in there, but if you're really into trouble, you can make that appointment and we'll discuss it further and explore it together. Harry Morgan. Harry Morgan says, I dated someone with BPD, bipolar disorder, I believe that's what you mean, and the breakup has been much more difficult because of the nature of a BPD relationship. I'm trying very hard to heal. I suffer from major depressive disorder. So you have a depressive disorder, and she had a bipolar disorder as well. Is that what you're saying, Harry? Harry, this could be a deep discussion. I'm not sure there would be enough space and time here to discuss it in detail because it needs interactive discussion. And there are lots of detail that I would need to ask. If you have difficulty, of course, you know that you got to talk to your psychiatrist or psychologists. As I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychiatrist, and I'm not a doctor, so I want you guys to be clear on that. My research is elaborate in the field of movement of the mind and understanding the consciousness and all the components, ego, fear, desire, and so on, but these are not what would qualify me to be a psychologist or psychiatrist or a doctor. So if you guys have serious problems of that kind, please do consult with your doctor and psychiatrists or psychologists. Otherwise, you're welcome to make an appointment with me on my Skype consultation, mind@sixtruth.com, and make an appointment, and we'll explore it together through my research without you considering me as a doctor, but as someone that can explore this to you with what you have seen on the videos and extent of my research in that field. So, Harry, I think you will qualify for a deeper discussion. So, if you would mind, that would be the place for us to interactively explore this together while you continue taking your doctor's advice. Juan Paz says, thank you, Mehran. I have another thing to say. Excuse me, but it is something I torture myself with. My ex is a friend of her ex. My ex is a friend of her ex. That means she's still friend with her ex. So I torture myself with the idea of them being together or hanging. Why do you torture yourself? You've given too much importance to her. She's just a girlfriend, which is not your wife, a mother of your children. Even if she was, well, things happen. She has the right to change her mind, and she may find a different path in her life. She wants to pursue that at any time in life. That can happen. So you guys don't think just because you got married and suddenly everything's going to be all according to whatever it is that you wished it to be, and it will be exactly same tune as you would be playing. So things can change, and that's fine. Be ready for that. This is a life that is not based in an absolute universe. It's a relative world, and things can go up and down and change, and you should be prepared to be that skillful captain that can hold the balance of his boat and not be capsized. Because you cannot control anything in this life. You cannot control the wind that blows, and you cannot control the waves that flows. But what you can do is to become that experienced, skillful captain who can keep rowing, keep the balance of the boat, and keep it from capsizing. And that's what you should know, and that's what you should have in mind when you're traveling on this ocean of life. Otherwise, you'll always be surprised and devastated and think that the world has come to an end. No, it's a flow, it's a continuous, and part of this flow is to go through this relationship, and the other part will be break up with it, and the other part would be another relationship, and that's how you do, because it is not all under your control. You are in relationship with other human beings, and they have different consciousnesses, and they're reacting and acting and reacting differently as things happen in life. To the same things maybe that you're reacting to, but differently. The same things that happens to you in life, you react differently, they react differently. So things changes, and you will go on and find another partner, and so will they. And that's how it is. You got to manage. That's why you are a man, and that's why you are a woman, and we both should have capabilities to deal with these sort of things rather than expecting the world to turn its way toward the way we like it to be. Then that's going to be a very limited world, wouldn't it? Because we are limited. That was pretty heavy, wasn't it? Now let's go on to Juan Pa's next part. Says that I'm afraid that they're together or hanging around, and now it is more that feeling because she rejected me. I'm so sorry to keep asking these questions, but it has been hard for me, especially because I'm unemployed and I haven't found a job yet. So I got a lot of time to think. No, you have no time to think. You only have time to go and look for a job. I want you to put everything on a back burner. Whether she's sleeping with somebody or not, whether she's going out with somebody or not, whether she's taking picture, ha ha ha, hoo hoo hoo, with a glass of wine, or hanging around and dancing, doesn't give a shit. That's not going to put the food on your table. So be realistic. Wake up and smell the coffee, or the strawberries, or the roses, or whatever the hell it is you want to smell. Wake up! Go and put priorities on finding a job. Become independent. Work and put that money in your pocket. Feel a little bit good. Bring that confidence up, and soon you will see your need for her and all these images will disappear, and you will be on your way to be qualified to find another qualified woman for yourself, and this time even better. Number one thing right now for you to do is to go find a job. Put all this bullshit aside. I don't care what she's doing or she's not doing. It is not your. You feel that way because you feel so low and unaccomplished. You get a job and everything changes. At least you have a chance to put food on your table and not worry about these things, and then pursue to deal with this. And naturally, it will be helpful to you to deal with this when you already have a job and feel good about yourself. All right. Danielle says, I just wanted to help you with your status. Okay, stats. Okay, good, thanks. Yeah. Bartos says, thanks. Another small question. I think that it's not a proper time for a new relationship. I'm 23, but sometimes I have some feelings of loneliness and anxiety, and a solution for such sickness. First of all, if you think it's a sickness, go to your doctor. Talk to your psychologist. Talk to your family doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a doctor. If you want to continue discussing about my research and my books about movement of mind and behavior of ego, fear, desire, and pleasure together, and how they affect each other and their role in our psyche and our persona, our center, thoughts and consciousness, how they're formed and put together, then of course, by all means, you can go to my site, mindthatseekstruth.com, make an appointment through clicking on Talk to Me for consultation, and we'll discuss what you just asked in a non-medical setting, while you still benefit from your psychologist's or doctor's advices. He says, maybe I should start to be open to new relationships. I don't feel that it's proper but maybe that's the only solution for my pain about X. Well, it's not a pain, it's the pain that you've created in your mind based on your conditioning and your upbringing of the expectation of the society and the image that you have created of yourself and the image that you have agreed to be your image in your mind about you, but it was set by the society and the conditionings that you have received. So again, as I mentioned, although I'm not a psychologist, although I'm not a doctor, I cannot prescribe anything for you. And you should seek the advice of your doctors and psychologists, all of you, if you have something that is on your mind about something serious. But these are very elaborate things if you want to discuss it with me. We got to go, and I should share with you the stuff for you to know about yourselves, how you tick, how you function, what are the roles of each one of these components in your psyche, in your consciousness. By that knowledge, you will understand why you feel this way, why you have these feelings coming and going, why all these questions, what are these thoughts doing in your head, what is the source of these thoughts, how to handle them, how to see them, what is the relationship between your thoughts and you. All of that will help you to understand a little bit more about the speed of processing of your thoughts and the effect of your attention on the actuality of life, and how are they related, and what is the relationship with things that you feel uncomfortable about, the feelings that makes you feel insecure. We can discuss all that in detail, but that again is something that you need to make an appointment with me, and we can explore that, all of you, every one of you, about these sort of things. Taking rest after exams. I thought it looked like taking rest after Christmas. I said, who is this guy? All right, good. That's something to laugh about. See, life is easy. Now, tell me, when you were laughing right now, were you thinking about the ex? No, you weren't. So you can be sure that what makes you feel is your thoughts. It's not the ex. It's not really something out of ordinary or out of your control or some kind of a heavenly thing that you have no control on. No, it's only when you think about it. So it's the thought that makes you feel the way you do. Not that the feeling is there regardless of what you think. Why? Because just right now when you were thinking about the Christmas and exam and we were laughing, you weren't even thinking a second about what pain you were in. That's again another thing that we can talk about on Skype consultations. There are lots of things that I can share with you, and if you guys can afford it, make that appointment with me, because I can condense this 1,300 videos to a level according to what time is available and the number of sessions, and help you to realize and recognize and understand your owner's manual, who you are, how you tick, and how to handle yourself and manage yourself, how to operate yourself. Otherwise, you'll always be amazed. Wow, why do I feel this way? Oh, what happened? It's because of that happened that I feel this way. No, it's because of your thinking that about that happened. And that your thinking is based on all your upbringing and your socializing and your social structure and your conditioning your consciousness, and everything else that we can discuss it in detail should you wish to make that effort and commitment. All right. Striker says, 22 male, Germany, thank you a lot, sir. Sorry for writing. No, I guess we discussed that. I guess we answered that. All right, we discussed that. Nick Roman says, I'm 30 years old, and my girlfriend of 5 years broke up. And 30-year-olds from where, Nick? Nick, don't short sell me here. What is it? I mean, don't give me lack of information. What is it? Where are you tuning in from? Maybe Italy, because it says Roman. Nick says, I'm 30-year-old and my girlfriend of 5 years broke up with me, I guess. Broke up with because she doesn't know what she wants. All right? How old is she? Lack of information, guys. Remember, you want a fast response, at least give me all the basic informations. She fell out of love with me even though I did everything I could to make her feel happy. Well, you guys think that because you do things for the girl, that's why she falls in love with you. No, that would be she falls in recognizing her need for what you can provide. Is she in love with you, or is she in love with what you do for her? And the girls, is the guy in love with you, or is in love with what you do for him? They're two different things. Is it lust or is it love? Is it love for who you are as a person? Which means you guys got to get to know each other first. To get to know each other first, you got to get to know yourself first to be able to have the capacity to understand and get to know the ingredients and the contents that have put together your partner. Because if you don't know how to get to know yourself, you wouldn't know how to recognize who the other person is by noticing the ingredients that have been used in putting him together or her together. For you to know about yourself, you got to know your consciousness. You got to know how thoughts are born, how your consciousness is put together. What is the role of ego? What is ego in you? How is it affecting your fears, or fears affecting the ego? How is it affecting desire, or desire is being used to fluff the ego? What about the relationship between pleasure and desire? You got to know all these things and how they interact with each other, interrelated, to know yourself, your persona. What is a mechanical process? What is an order? What is your center? What is a material process? What does it all put together mean that shapes you? Then you can get to know your partner. So, is it love, which means you got to get to know yourselves, each other, which we just talked about, you got to first know yourself? Or is it what you love that the other person is doing for you? Do you love the other person? Which means, do you know that other person first before you can love him or her? Or do you love what the other person is doing for you? Or is it lust? All of these are things that you really need to pay attention before you can start thinking how to manage it and solve it and move on with your life. She fell out of love, you say, with me, even though I did everything I could make her feel happy. So you think with all the things that you did for her, that will make her fall in love with you. No, it makes her fall in love with your ability to do things for her. And that's not enough to keep a relationship together. Sometimes people fall out of love because they don't even know themselves, but yet they commit their emotion to somebody else, and not because they really know that person and love that person, because they are hoping that without knowing themselves, that person will help them to know themselves. That person will help them to love themselves by showing love to her, to making her feel that she's lovable, because she doesn't know enough about herself to love herself. So she wants to pretend, or at least she thinks she's in love with somebody else, so that she can receive love and feel loved. And that would be a beginning for her to get to know herself. I don't know if you guys can follow, but I think you can. We can go very deep on these discussions. Many girls fall in love, or looks like they love you, and you fall for it and think that they really love you. Or many guys love a girl, or looks like they love a girl, and the girl thinks that the guy loves them, and they fall in love with the guy because they think he loves them. And none of you are looking under the whole situation to understand, why is this person actually expressing his feelings or her feelings in this way? Is it because it's a genuine feeling, or is it just something that he needs to do to feel good about himself? If that's the case, then often they will eventually wake up and say, okay, I don't love the person because I never did. I wanted to love myself, and I thought loving someone means a step toward the right direction, to know myself, to love myself. So again, it's individual, very individual, and time helps to bring more information to light. But these are some things that one needs to know, and all of that again is based on how much you know about yourself, your center. Who are you? When you know how you can recognize and evaluate yourself, and to be clear about your own psyche and components and contents of your consciousness, then you're able to get to know your partner. And given time, you will see if you two are actually compatible based on your ingredients and contents of your consciousness, and how you can deal with it. And you can deal with it better if you really know how you yourself are put together, which again goes through that, which I suggest for that you might want to get help from one of my books called Me, My Psyche and I. Me, My Psyche and I highly recommend this book. As I mentioned to you, Me, My Psyche and I is $80 US on my site, mindthatseekstruth.com. But I have turned all the books, which are either $80 or $105, I've turned them all into ebooks. So the same book that is $80 US, you can pick it up for $5.99 for a click on a link. Same book, same everything, only not printed matter. So I suggest you pick up Me, My Psyche and I, and learn about yourself, like an owner's manual. And then begin to understand how you can tell and understand your partner's behavior, your partner's center, and who he or she is, which would help you to know how to deal with each other, and how to know each other's shortcomings, how to compromise, how to understand each other. It wouldn't be like, oh, he's doing that or she's doing this because she's mean or he's mean. No, you can understand where the psyche is reacting and how and on what basis is reacting this way. And then you guys can talk about it and fix it up. Relationships could last a little longer than it will, until there would be real reasons for separation, and that can happen as well. But at least in the meantime, you have a better quality of life, and you will know yourself better. That's what I really suggest. Me, My Psyche and I. Make sure you pick that book up. It helps the channel. At the same time, it helps a lot more you than the channel, because channel gets like $5.99, but you get a world of knowledge about yourself. The book is about 360 pages, and it's got lots to say. All right. Having said that, let's go on and read the rest of the okay, so I did everything I could to make her feel happy. Nick says it's only been 20 days, but she seems happy. Okay. I can't understand how someone can be like this. Well, why not? 5 years ago, when you guys met, she was very happy. Well, did you say that? I can't understand how could someone be so happy. No, you were happy too. This is the beginning of something. It's like the first spoon that you go into a nice, delicious soup or some delicious meal, or first fork that the first bite. You say, wow. If you didn't say, ugh, then you probably would say, wow. And if you did say, wow, that means you're really satisfied. But the second and third and fourth and fifth could be different, and your expectations could be different, and more detail would be, looked into, and so on. So the same thing here. Just because she looks happy at one snapshot you saw her, why are you surprised? She's taken a new experience and looks happy. It doesn't mean that because she looks happy, then you're less of a man, or that person that she's with now is better than you. None of that. Just means she's happy, like a reaction to a first bite of a new food that she's trying. That's all. It's a reaction, normal reaction. It has nothing to do with the comparison to you, and you should not feel anything about it other than, okay, she's happy. Okay, big deal. You will also be happy if you go out with a girl that you like, and you will be tremendously delighted. But maybe you will be a little bit feeling different because you still have this caveman attitude that, oh, that one was mine, so where is she? Even though I have this one that's really hot, but oh, where's that one? I want that one too. Well, let go of that one so you can pursue this one. Otherwise, your hands will tear apart. Both are pulling. You're pulling this way. She's pulling. So be reasonable. Let that go so you can find. How can you find a bigger, nicer quality of gold when you're digging? If you're still on this hole and you're trying to dig this, you can never have the opportunity to go on another part of the mountain and dig, which there would be a bigger branch of gold in there. So you got to let go one that you see there's not enough good reason for you to stick around, keep digging there, and go on the one that is actually welcoming you, and it's got nicer area there for possibilities that geologic research shows that stats shows that there's more chance, better quality there. So let that go. You gotta let one go. You can't be digging two holes at the same time. So let it go. It doesn't matter if she's happy or not. Who cares? You focus on the one that you are looking for gold in. And that's all I have to say about that. See, I can't understand how someone could be like, why? She's not killed anyone. She's just been happy. That's okay. Does the person who does the breaking up move on faster? Well, yeah, because she didn't just, it wasn't just laid on her like it was laid on you, that she came to you and, suddenly it's broken up. She's been thinking about that for the past 3 months. And most likely, not necessarily, but most likely, she's been kind of finding somebody else in that 3 months. She's already found a foundation, build a foundation with some guy. And then, usually, this is how women work. Not all, again, don't intend to offend anybody here. That's the way it is. Most women find somebody first and they break up with their boyfriend. If only all boys and girls, men and women, would have enough guts and respect for each other to break up first, then go and hunt for something else. Then that's called a brave way and respectful way of breaking up. But most often, this doesn't happen that way. So in this case, of course it's easier for her because she knew it's coming 3 months ahead of time, or 4 months ahead of time, or 5 months ahead of time. But you just got to know in one day. Anyhow, regardless of time, she knew it before you. So she has dealt with it. She's already made that decision. She's okay with it. She's done the feeling part before she committed to it. But you have to deal with it, the feelings after the breakup. The one who initiates the breakup deals with the breakup before the breakup is announced and happens. That's the difference between the one who breaks up and the one who gets the breakup news. So the one who just hears that she's breaking up with him or he's breaking up with her would have to now deal with the pains and the ups and downs of it. But the one who just gave you the news already has dealt that through her mind or his mind few months or few weeks beforehand. That's the difference. That's why she can go on early and the other one takes a while to deal with these things first and then. It's like, I don't know. I don't want to give up another example, but it's like somebody knows that this food is poisonous, so she refrains from eating it. But the one who doesn't know it's poisonous given the food. Now he has to vomit first, and before he can take on the food. But the other one already knew it and is just going to choose a different food. Kind of funny example, but it means one of you deals with the situation before the situation actually starts, and the other one deals with the situation after the breakup happens. And that's the difference why the one who initiates the breakup goes on usually sooner. And in the case of the girls, most often they've already dealt with it and they've already found someone. So don't be surprised why she's so happy, because she doesn't have those reactions that you have now, because to her it's old news. To you it's new news. And it's shocking. Instability has happened in your life, but her, no, she caused the earthquake, and she knew how to, brace herself so she wouldn't be affected. She's dealt with it. So, and then he continues, says, I can't understand how someone can be like this after 5 years. Does the person who does the breaking, yeah, usually. And then Nick continues, she made poor excuses about how I focused on saving money for our future and the time. Don't listen to her. You just keep saving your money, because at the end, that money is going to help you feel good about yourself. Don't become a splurger for nothing. If you have reasons to spend the money, go ahead. Don't be stingy, but don't lose your ability to be frugal when you need to be. Save that money. Times are tough sometimes, and you gotta have a backing of the money. And don't listen to her because of a whims, and she feels good to buy this, buy that, take me this place, that place. So in time, yeah, everything would be fine, but not just so that she will give you the smile. So let's bribe her. Don't let your relationships turn into bribing her or bribing him so that he or she will be nice to you. No, each would be responsible for your own happiness, and then bring that happy emotions, happy feelings, happy state of being, mentality into the relationship. Don't come to the relationship to get happy. Be happy first, and then come to the relationship. Then that will have a better chance to work. Otherwise, then you will be faced with the other person who's not happy, and you don't know what to do because you're not happy yourself. You came into the relationship to be happy by the grace of the other person, and now you see a different situation. Now you have to bribe it. And let me buy this for her, so she'll be happy and she'll be, confident, and she'll be just, content to this. And then she will say, maybe I do something special for him. So all of that is just games that you guys are fooling yourself instead of facing the music. For that, of course, you know what you should do. Yes, go to my site and pick up the book, Me, My Psyche, and I. That's my final answer. And then Nick says, I spent with my... See? She made poor excuses about how I focus on saving money for our future and the time I spend with my mother, helping her financially. I see. Well, tell her, like, if we were committed in a committed relationship more than this, and if you were in difficulty, would you not expect me to help you? What about if your mother was in difficulty? Would you not expect me to help your mother? Or would you not yourself help your mother using your money or our money? It's a family, right? We're supposed to be helpful to each other if we can. What would you do? So obviously she's not playing as a team. She's more self-centered, which means, you're better off without her, obviously. And Nick continues, says, I just wanted to be a caring boyfriend and son at the same time. That's fine. I believe she used the poor excuse as a weapon in the breakup. Yes, she wants to justify what she's doing. It has nothing to do with you helping your mother or anything like that. In fact, it's a strong trait, strong point, and it's a good point, positive point about you, that you feel responsible, because that also tells her that you would be there for her should she would have needed some help, just like you helped your mother and other members of the family. So don't buy into that nonsense, and it's got nothing to do with that. She's trying to find justification, some excuse to make you feel like it's all your fault rather than the fact that she's found some other guy and she's just a little bit maybe fluffing her wings to find different branches who would have maybe more things to for fun. Maybe this lack of ability to feel responsible, how to build a life, and more focused on how to have fun. So that's not the kind of a partner you want to have anyhow. And Nick says, why does my mind sometimes give me false hopes? Is it worth fighting for someone who you felt a real connection? No. Because if she's not willing to fight for the same connection that you feel it was a good one, then there is no connection. How could there would be a good connection between two people if only one of them thinks that it's worth to go after her and she's the one who actually doesn't want? Maybe there was a good connection at one time, but now that she's severed it, how could you still think that there's a connection? What connection? She's giving you all this conversation in order to make her feel good. So don't buy into that. Just thank God and thank your stars that you didn't have to stick around and find this out. Lack of cohesiveness or loyalty or commitment to the situation, to a relationship when you guys were more serious or, I don't know, had children. So go be jubilant. And let's see if Nick has anything else. Nick says from the UK. Okay. Thank you, Nick. All right. So I hope that is something to help you out, Nick. And we now go to Majid. Majid says almost home. All right. And then Majid says, Mehran, I think I've realized that I am ugly. Really? And any pretty girl I've had has been them using me. I am trying to find purpose other than feeling like not desirable, but finding it hard. Hold my tears multiple times a day. And I don't mean to be horrible by saying pretty girls. I mean all girls. I'm short, losing my hair, and ugly facial features. Now, the good news is that girls are not choosing guys like the guys choose girls. First of all, beauty, even in women's case, is based on how they treat you, how they interact with you, how they look at the world, what kind of psychological security their behavior, mentality, and action brings to that relationship. That's what makes a woman look really good, not when she's all dude up. Every woman can get dude up and look gorgeous. So it's not about the aesthetics only. Many beautiful women aesthetically, physically, fitnessly, that's a new word, but they don't look as attractive once you get to know them, because their mentality, their behavior, the words they utter, their manners, they all nullify their good looks, and you actually lose interest. And their level of intelligence, the level that you guys can bond on conscious level, the level that you can hit it off or expect from the other person's manner, would all cause none of her beauty to be visible anymore, although her beauty was what really attracted you seriously. At the end of this discussion right here with Majid, I will tell you a little story about my own experience, and that could maybe kind of bring it more to light, the point that I want to make. So it is all about the manners that makes a woman more beautiful or beautiful. The aesthetics are important, but they will lose their characteristics and their novelty once it is laced with bad manners or incompatibility in consciousness level. Now, the good news for guys is that women pay less attention to the looks of a man and a lot more attention to how the man's behavior, mentality, heart, energy, and emotions are. Women do not choose men for the same reason that the men choose women. Men, right at the outset, not afterwards. Afterwards is a different level, but from the beginning, they're attracted to women by her looks. And they want to be with a woman because their, heterosexual male is designed and programmed for procreation. He's looking for female to pursue and procreate. That's his gene. He doesn't think that way, but that's why he goes after a woman. It's in his program. And he finds what's pleasing to him, according to his standards and expectations, the beauty of the woman, what's attractive to him. And every woman is attractive, but different men have different tastes, and they go for what seems attractive to them. So this is how men are initially attracted to women, from sexual point, looks and body and things. Then later on, even though she's beautiful, but she's not really hitting it off together, she won't look that beautiful. But women don't choose men. They're not attracted to men just that way. Maybe initially. But quickly, it becomes much quicker than it does become irrelevant in the case of men paying attention to women. Much quicker than that, the looks of a man, it dissipates. It's not even considered by the woman anymore after they get to know each other, because she didn't really come to him because he just had good looks. He could have had the good looks, but she would still not be attracted to him unless there was an interaction, which in that interaction, the words, the manner, the energy was felt by the woman to be of high quality to her standards and her expectations. But soon after that, all she's focusing on is how she's being treated and what kind of energy, fairness, and exchange of energy and affect that persona, the persona of her man, her choice, her boyfriend, her candidate is having on her. So whether the man is losing her hair or is short or tall does make no goddamn difference to women's interest for pursuit and happiness. Women are looking for, most women initially and eventually, maybe not every time, but their ultimate goal is to settle down with someone and to build a nest, build a home, build a future, build psychological security, bring security. That's what they gauge men. They look for a man who is kind, that they feel safe with him, that he's fair. He's got words that are not nasty or bitter or ugly. He makes them feel good about themselves. He does not put them down. He makes them feel elated and makes them feel valued and wonderful as they are. The man makes the girl with his behavior and his manners, not because he's mushy or sucking up to her all the time and being a doormat. No, by his naturally balanced manner and good, well-behaved manner and intentions, he makes her feel she's the most beautiful woman on earth. She's most valuable female in this world. And she's protected, and she's got provisions that he will fight for her if somebody is, through legal ways or however it is customary to that neck of the wood that is possible. he would protect her interests, he would protect her legal rights, he would observe her legal rights, he would be democratic, he would make her feel whole in that home that they're building together. And the fact that she will feel if there's shortcomings, he would be able to understand. These are some things that she's looking for. She's not looking for Sean Connery or Brad Pitt or necessarily. She's looking for a real good person because she knows, as smart as you guys think you guys are, girls are smarter than you in some ways, and that is that they know that they cannot build a relationship on the looks of the guy. They know that the relationship that they're looking for can only be built and needs the ingredient that resides in the personality, in the consciousness, and in the intentions and the mentality of the guy that they're hoping to build that relationship with. For that reason, they're not so focused on the looks. The looks are nice, but they can be with a guy who looks good but he's a jerk, he's an asshole. They'll dump him like they've never dumped anything before. They will dump him like a piece of lead in the ocean. It'll go deep that they will never be able to come back up to her. Girls are not stupid. They're looking for quality. And quality is not in the aesthetics. Same thing goes for guys. When the guys get really alert and wise, they're not just looking for a girl who looks hot, because they know they cannot necessarily build a relationship. Absolutely, they cannot build a relationship with the hot look of a woman. The relationship, in all cases, is built on the consciousness level, based on understanding each other's center, the persona, the mentality, the manners, compatibility, morality, how harmonized they are together. These are what you can build a relationship together. So all that you talked about is just, playing on the violin to cry, to make yourself cry. Because your idea, you're thinking like a man, from the point of view that the women are looking, you can't see it. Because a man thinks that the reason he's looking for that, he's choosing that girlfriend is because she's beautiful. And then he thinks that the girls are also choosing their boyfriend in the same way that he is choosing his girlfriends, based on looks. No, girls are not. They will take it if someone is good looking, but they will go far beyond it, even though if he's good looking, but he's not really measuring up in manners and behavior, mentality and morality, they'll dump him. They'll dump him in a second. And that's why often you see gorgeous women, drop dead gorgeous women. You see they're hand in hand with a guy that you don't think he's good looking. He's chubby, or maybe however you want to call it. His facial expressions or facial looks or look of fitness level or whatever is really not measurable to, James Bond. But he's got the hottest girl around. Why? There are many reasons, He could be into all kind of shit, and the girl could be a piece of shit, and he's attracted to another piece of shit. It could be, a drug dealer or abuser or some kind of a weird situation. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about decent situations. The drop-dead gorgeous girl could be with that guy because the guy is just a nice guy. He's educated. He takes care of the girl. He can provide. He's honest. He's caring. He's compassionate. He's a good human being. He's got a good heart. But he doesn't look like Brad Pitt. He doesn't look like Sean Connery. He doesn't look like James Bond. But the girls don't give a shit about that. They want reality. They're reasonable. They're logical. They're looking for good quality to build something. And that's why you see lots of men who don't measure up to the stereotype or the standard of a fit and good look of a man, but they have such wonderful wives or women because they've turned themselves into some good person. And that's what women look. Look, in closing this question, I tell you a personal story. Many years ago, when I was not married, in the industry that I was working in, I met this girl that she was in the same industry, but different company. And I would, once in a while, if I had clients and our paths would cross and we had to do business, and she was one of the most beautiful girls I had ever seen in my life. Everything about her aesthetically was perfect, like for me. She was the most beautiful girl, one of the most beautiful girls I had ever seen in my life. But of course, she was married, and I made no attention. As soon as she told me she was married, or I saw her ring or something, to me that was dead issue. But I could appreciate in her mind that she's a beautiful woman, but never did any approach of any kind because I knew she's married and I didn't find that to be appropriate. However, whenever we had clients, we had to do business, so I knew of her, she knew of me. A couple of years passed, and one day when she saw me in a business meeting, she said, "Oh, I'm divorced." So to me, it was okay. She's divorced. Why is she telling me that with such an excitement? Anyhow, but I put up a good face and I said, "Oh, I'm very sorry about that." But perhaps in my heart, I said, "Oh, pretty good." But she was divorced, and then there was no barrier. So eventually, I remember I was sitting somewhere reading my book, and my son was playing in the playground, and I think her daughter was playing somewhere too, and I didn't know they were there, but I was just sitting somewhere and reading my book, and I saw over my shoulder somebody close by, and she came in and she said, "Hi, anyhow, we chit-chatted a little bit, "Oh, what are you doing, this stuff?" And then she said, "Look, I want to give you my phone number." Oh, there we go. That's wonderful. I said, "Okay." So, cut the long story short, a few days later, I called her up. We chatted on the phone, and then I asked her out. "Would you like to go, for a night out?" She said, "Yes." So I made the arrangement in a nice restaurant, and we had plans to go. I said we'd go to a restaurant, have a nice dinner, and then we'd go to a movie. That was my plan. So I go and pick her up, and of course she's as beautiful as ever, and we go sit in this beautiful restaurant. And you can see, I knew her for a long time, and she's beautiful, gorgeous, and all that. So we sit down. The first word that comes out of her mind, I lose interest. I lose interest 100%. No more interested. Didn't see her as beautiful as I always thought she was, that perfect woman of all kind, the deity, the goddess. None. The moral of the story, of course, we did go to a movie afterwards just to finish the date, to be a gentleman, and then usually customary when I would take my date and take her home, I would, kiss her on the cheek, and this time she was, I guess, waiting for something, but I didn't even want to do that because I just thought, no point. I have lost total interest. But, she was kind and affectionate in the movie, but normal, nothing extraordinary. But the moral of the story is, no matter how beautiful a woman even is, it is all about connection between the minds, the manners, the moralities, the class, the culture, how you interact, how you present yourself, the kind of image you give to the others by your real, actual behavior, real-time movements and negotiation with daily lives. So, the whole idea is that it doesn't matter how they look. It's all about how they behave, manners, mentality, speaking, and morals and everything else. Let alone how you look, because they don't even care about it nearly as much as we care when we look at them. So I hope that would be something for you to think about. You've got lots going for you, and none of that what you talked about, the facial and all that shit, matters to them. All it matters to the girls is that you're a good person, can provide, be helpful, understanding, fair, kind, protective, balanced, decent, there for them. That's it. The rest of it, you're brainwashing yourself for nothing. It's all bullshit. You have all the things. You can have the most beautiful girl that you want in the world if you guys can hit it on conscious level. Have enough confidence in yourself and don't ever doubt yourself with that kind of bullshit. Ever again. All right. What do we have in here? Striker says, thank you very much. I like your direct approach when you talk about such things. I'm so glad that I found your channel. I share your channel to others in hope it will help them too. I thank you very much, Striker. I appreciate that. And I ask everybody to make sure you like the live talk. If you haven't, click on like and share the videos that you like on our social media. Help us to grow. And with word of mouth and your sharing the videos will help us to get where we want to get and reach more people and help more people and also be recognized by the algorithm of YouTube. Okay. Now, Azdown says, yes, very helpful. Thank you, Mehran. You're welcome. Majid says, P.S. Mehran, I'm sexually frustrated as I'm doing... Oh, no, well, you should do it then. What are you holding out for? Are you collecting samples? What? No, you got to do that. That's okay. Yeah, you must do that. You must do that, and that is normal. That's okay. If you don't do that, then you will be so frustrated, and every woman that you see, you will behave badly, you will be too forward, you will be too obnoxious or too impatient. And no, create that balance by, doing what you know you got to do and get rid of that. All right. Berto says, I'm laughing with you all the time. How? What do you mean? What are you laughing? There's nothing to laugh about. I'm killing myself here without tea, without hot tea, and working so hard for you guys. You laughing? Wait till I see you. Nick says from the UK. Okay, Nick. Now, I did address your question, Nick, didn't I? I hope I did. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. All right, now, let's see. Well, there's another troll here, Jesus, DIFX, which the system has held his comment for review, and I can see it's quite inappropriate. Jesus, that is shameful, and it's obviously you don't belong here. So therefore, we say bye-bye to you and go figure out your motivation for this kind of nonsense. Nobody's gonna take this seriously. And let me just take one moment, guys, for 1 second. See if I can simply block this user. There we go. It's good to know how to block people when they're being inappropriate. So, Striker says, male, 22, male, Germany. May I ask an off-topic question? You may ask, but I may not answer. So, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Nick says, thanks, Mehran, for your kind words. She was suffering from depression for about a year, and she expressed that she is unhappy with herself. I assume this caused her to see me as the cause for the breakup. Okay. She said that she is to blame for the breakup and she needs to fix herself, but the sparks and excitement is gone for her. I can see the speed of my reading is decreased. It could mean that I'm, unwound, just kind of wound down. Don't have that. She also said maybe in 5 months we realize that we are meant to be together. Well, okay. Nick Roman also says, I can't get back with her because I think I can't trust her. I will always feel like she has no grit or commitment. All right, then you make that decision and move on. Yeah. Okay. Now we have another person called Ash Hallow is addressing Nick Romans, is responding to him. Ash, this kind of response is not productive. So the system has held it for review, so I think you might want to reword it, and that may be then something that will let it go through. I know you mean well, perhaps. Moritz says, what did she say? Strike says, I'm in a university. How do I come to terms with the possibility that I am too stupid for academics? Who says that? Listen, lots of scholars in the world who became world-known scientists or scholars of some kind, often at the beginning they had no aptitude for that, and many called them this and that. Of all people, you should not be one of them who call yourself stupid in anything. All it is just spend more time, more attention, more focus, stay away from the bullshit that goes through your mind about your ex and all that, and focus on what it is that you want to learn. Imagine and be one with what you're reading, full attention to what you're reading rather than looking at the book but your mind would be somewhere else. Learn how to focus, which again you can go and get my Psyche and I book, and there's a big chapter there for meditation, the importance of focusing, and then unleash that on your studies, and in real time pay full attention to it, and then you will learn whatever it is that you want to learn. Are you kidding me? I used to work for a computer company, and before that I thought, oh, computers are so challenging. And when I joined that company, it was a big corporation. Burroughs was a main competitor to IBM at the time. And so the people who were doing the programming, COBOL programming on mainframes, it was different styles and systems. It was huge. Like we went to see the city's newspaper printing headquarters here in Vancouver, and at the time, their computer system was from starting here and ending there, which was like 15 meter long with 1 meter wide. 1 meter wide systems, and all tandem connected to each other for 15 meter. All these mainframes would provide 64K memory. And that was the main computer for the newspaper printing company here in Vancouver at the time. And all that changed to just one laptop. My laptop right here has got what? I don't know, 5 gigabytes. And that whole thing was, so what I'm trying to say is that when I joined that company, Burroughs, and the people that were, expert, our programmers and the ones who were training the customers when they buy a new system, would know how to program COBOL and would know how to program something else. And so happened that one of our experts was, leaving. And nobody had taught me anything. And I was really not good at computers. In fact, in university, I got a very low grade, a passing grade. I got a C in computer, which was all, cards that you had to key in the key punch and put holes in the cards, and you would stack the cards for your program, give it to the mainframer department that would put in the computer, read it, and your program would come up and you would fix the programs. I got a C. I wasn't that good. I couldn't understand that. Even me, when I joined that company and our expert left, and I was held to be the only one who was supposed to actually learn these things on his own, because there was no teacher there and we were not the head office. So I started looking at the manuals and I spent time and I learned it. I played with the system. I learned it through the manual. I became the best who knew what to do. I programmed a payroll program on that new FDL language at the time, not the COBOL, FDL, and personal computers that they'd come up with. And the next day, with one of the programmers, they sent me to teach one of the largest customers that we had in town. And I gave him a full course of 2 hours of how that programming works. And then at the end, our programmer said, "My goodness, how did you learn all that? You gave him a full FDL course." I said, "Well, I did it all by myself." So what I'm trying to tell you is that me, who was not good at the computers at the university, yet I got a job in that company and I became one of the only guys in that company, in that branch, who knew how to work with that computer and teach it all by myself through computer. Then I did the same thing with the document encoding machine for the banks. I learned it. There was a machine called S100. It was document sorter. All the checks would go through and it would read it and all that. I learned how to make that work together and teach it to the bankers, the data department sorting banks here in town, through the manual. So what I'm trying to tell you is not to boast about myself. I'm trying to tell you that me, who was not good at all, didn't have the brain for it, but by hard work and actually understand it, I became the wizard in that thing. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you're not stupid in anything. We all are and we are not, none of us. Depending on how much time and dedication and focus and attention when we're reading, we put into what we are reading when we are reading it. If our mind and body is coordinated when we're learning something, or mind is somewhere else and only we're looking at the book and we think we're stupid because 2 hours passed and all we thought was, is she fucking with somebody else or not? No, don't do that. But if you focus on what you're reading, definitely you can learn anything you put your mind to it. You never say that again, that you're stupid. Ever. I never want to hear it, because it's a lie you're telling yourself and you're limiting yourself for accomplishing whatever it is that you can accomplish in life if you put your mind to it. Never forget that. All right. I know no one calls you that, but I'm talking about you. You are the most important one to call you that or not call you that. I don't care who else call you that. They're all full of shit. They can call you whatever you want. It has no effect, should not have any effect on anybody else, on you. But if you call yourself stupid, that's the biggest mistake you can do, because I just proved to you that if you don't call yourself stupid, you can do anything you want and you put your mind to it. Just like I did when I was totally, definitely, 100% useless in computers at that time, which was very difficult. I even programmed in COBOL language a payroll before I went to the head office in Toronto for training. So if I can do it, you can do it. It's all about the belief. If you believe in yourself, you can do it. If I can do it in computers at that time, which I was proven, I can't understand a damn thing about it, but I proved myself wrong because I said I can do anything. One thing was different with me was that I was involved in martial arts in my university. In Aikido, I learned the mind is powerful. And if you learn the power of focus, you can do anything you put your mind to it. And my father always said the same thing. So I had no doubt that I can. It was a matter of how much money, how much time and focus I put in what I want to accomplish. And since then, I've pretty much accomplished almost anything that I thought I wanted to accomplish. So far, so good. And you can do the same, 100%, every one of you. All right. Tambi Taher. Hello, Mehran. Finally got to see you live. Oh, good to see you. Taher, I think I recognize your last name, but not the first name. But you are in Sweden, right? Am I right? And your first name is Anushe. Am I right? I know who you are, if I'm not mistaken, but I may have forgotten your first name. But Taher, I know that name. I think we talked several times, and you're a very nice young man, and you were. I think you have a child, and you were married, and then we're going through separation at the time. I hope all is well with you now. I hope I remembered it correctly. Nick says, Mehran, how often do you come across couples that get back together and move forward after a short-term or long-term break? Can the trust be rebuilt, and do you think these relationships last? Look, when you break up, don't look back. Just keep moving forward, especially if you're very young, and you are. So don't worry about how many times they get back together. Don't have that hope. Cut the cord and keep paddling and go toward other islands. There's so much stuff to see in this ocean of life that you don't need to be bogged down just because somebody doesn't want you, or you think I should wait for. No, don't wait for anybody. If you guys tried, didn't work out, and finally broke up, move on. You were together, you had problems, you tried to work it out. It didn't work out. You tried to work it out. It didn't work out. Now you broke up. Now that it has broken up, why do you think that it's supposed to get back together? Move on. Life's got a lot more to offer than reminiscing what didn't work. One thing is for sure, that didn't work. Why do you want to wait for that one that didn't work, that you're sure it didn't work? Why don't you go for the ones that has possibilities to actually work? Because at least you don't know that they don't work. This one, you do know that it didn't work, and it doesn't work. So what do you want it back for? Oh, masochist? Striker says 22 male Germany. Thank you. I will look into it, sir. I just can't solve things that I should be able to solve. You can. You can. I like science, but at the same time, I seem to be slower than average in processing stuff. Okay, so what? Who cares how slow or fast you are? Just put more time into it, more focus, more time, you'll learn it. If you like it, you will learn it fast. If you don't like it, well, then find some major that you like and then enjoy that in university. You don't have to study everything that everybody else studies. You study what you like. All right. Ah, Taher from Qatar. Okay, that's totally different person. David says, you really do have a positive impact on a lot of people, Mehran. You are making your mark on this world in your own way. Well, I hope I am, and let's see if the actual waves starts moving towards me to listen more to what I have to say, and that will tell me by the numbers we see on the subscribers on YouTube. By the sale of the ebooks on the site and the number of consultations that we receive and number of likes we get on the videos and number of shares that I check every month to see on the analysis, number of shares that you guys share the views on your social media, and the number of subscribers that I'm hoping that will hit to 1 million someday, eventually, soon. Now, let's see, I thought that was the last one, but Nick says, is the love and emotion that I have for her, it's a love and emotion that I have for her, but I'm working on taking control with my mind rather than my heart. Thank you, Mehran. Well, love and emotion that you have for her must be conditional. And that would mean if she's reciprocating, good. If she doesn't, well, move on. There's no holiness there for you to keep giving your love and emotion for something that is not turning for you. So if this wheel doesn't turn for you, you shouldn't care if it turns at all. Just go on and jump up and down and do acrobatics for the one who actually is willing to sit down and watch you and clap for you, not just for someone who doesn't give a shit and you think she should. All right. And Insidious Gamer says, hi guys, hope you're having a good day, Mehran. Well, thank you very much. You came right at the beginning of the end of the chat. Right on time. So guys, it looks like we've hit all the questions here, and I hope I didn't left anybody behind. I want to thank you for the time that you gave me to share all these things with you. It's time for me to get off and go to the gym, and I hope that you guys will do something similar, something light to keep yourself fit mentally and physically, and focus on building your life, and to know that there's so much good and possibilities out there in the world, and life is not all about one relationship or one woman or one man, and you guys can set your sight higher and focus on all that is possible in this journey of life. I love you all, and thank you for the opportunity. Look forward to talk to you soon. I hope in the meantime you will be good to yourself, to the others. Talk to you soon, and bye for now.